pace is, it forces team to be a lot more aggressive, which ultimately Alpha 7 is usually known for being that aggressive team.
Right.
When the other teams don't really have a chance to think for too long, to react to see what's going to happen, Alpha 7 is able to take full advantage, and you can see it right there. Most eliminations, Carrillo, Carrillo with 15, Rebo with 13, and highest damage. We do see action, Rebo being able to sneak himself there in between action and top. And as we're going to go on headshots, Mythic. So you're seeing a lot of Alpha 7 players here on this stats, and it's just the aggressiveness. And with this playing path, I was going to say Vampire Esports and Soggy Crawdads would have loved this playing path because they love going to Primor. So, you know, just something to keep an eye on. But going back, just with Alpha 7, so the other teams don't really have enough time to think on how they're going to be able to defend, and Alpha 7 is just able to smother them, able to take full advantage of that, and I think that's what's been working out for them. We'll see what is going to happen here on this one, and you can see, along as I'm 363 Avenger.
That's
Yikes.
There was almost, or if not more than 70 meters more than second place there for the longest elimination. That's kind of crazy. As you see on the map here, we have an R8 Alpha 7 potential fight. Looks like Alpha 7 potentially could be stretching all the way into North George. I'm not sure if they could reach that far. It looks like they could also be taking a vehicle and getting out of there. R8 is going to be taking South George, and Alpha 7 is going to try to go to North George. 12 teams, plenty of room, but it was a rough playing path. So, yeah, of course, everyone is not going to be completely satisfied with where they get. Of course, again, thanks to Sun Xperia for being our official smartphone partner here at PMWI and GAMERS8. We have some amazing stuff in store for the rest of the year as well.
See Enigma Galaxy taking full advantage of the playing path, going to Pochinki. And while we're at it, make sure we watch PMWI together in-game esports center with your friends to win PMWI special sets. And don't forget, PMWI packages are on sale for a limited time, and you can also win PMWI treasure crates if you play PUBG Mobile during PMWI. I feel like that's why we've been playing so much too, because I want to be able to win some of those treasure chests. That doesn't sound bad at all.
That'd be nice. Here, South George with R8 and SK Ton on screen. ID 7 also in there. Alpha 7 here on the north side. They managed to all of them get over there. No problem. And everyone is alive here, and this is where we were talking about, and what the desk has also been talking about before the last game, is of course that we're going to have this very, very extreme approach of how they're playing the game, right? Because they're super hard focused on getting those points from, getting the points from the game that you're able to get into the first prize, which is $60,000, but also focused on your special eliminations, the first T elimination. So you want to be able to be full four-man strong with your favorite setup, so you can take these players on and potentially take home the chicken dinner, but also all these special rewards that we have throughout here. First airdrop. Most airdrops is kind of crazy too. Team with the most eliminations and most teams eliminated. So really big on eliminations in general. If you're able to wipe a few teams, if you're able to get a few eliminations throughout, as you saw with Damwon here yesterday as well, crazy amount of money on the line. $23,000 just for the rewards and $10,000 for the chicken dinner as well. So there's just so much money in the line. Potentially here, life-changing money for these players.
Yeah, we saw some of the players yesterday actually, in a way, change their style of what utilities they tend to use. I think it was one of the players from Alpha 7 and some of the other players from different teams too. We saw a lot more grenades, and that's because they're trying to go not only for that first special elimination,
please
but for the most
470,
special
please 470.
I can't wait to see
India is win. India.
today, or which teams are going to be running each other over with the vehicles, because that does count towards it. We're currently looking at Enigma Galaxy here.
We saw that yesterday as well. Sanok, with how much they tried to get that runner a kill, but he was just ducking and weaving, getting away and surviving that. He ended up just having to try to get him completely limited instead. And that was actually super fun to see how much they're trying and focusing on it. Of course, it's important. There's a lot of money on the line.
Yeah, usually if you go the first time around and so many of the enemy team is right there, you kind of stop. But I think that was in the back of his head. He was like, you know
money.
$2,000 sounds really nice for this kind of elimination. Ultimately, he didn't end up getting it, but they did end up getting that squad wipe. Team Falcons, Kalara's favorite team here, currently just looting just Naya. And I was going to mention, with so much space, right, with all these teams, just only being 12 teams, we do end up getting some fights where we have like super looted teams.
Right.
Especially with a lot less hot drops that we are seeing today. I think yesterday we got a chance to see a lot more. And then these teams went back, watched the VODs, and decided to, you know what? I think, yeah, that first elimination is good, but go for the 10K for a chicken dinner. You can see Bigatron finally rotating out of their looting spot, which was towards the West Bridge, making a push towards farm. And they need to be careful because 7Cs is going to be very close to them.
Yeah, for sure. And you can see as well here on screen, it's Genfus, Luxy, Suxy, and Misery playing. Liquid has been set out for this game here. The question is, how many games is it set out for? It could be the entire day. We'll see. Maybe you had some insights of them speaking with them at breakfast this morning, but we're gonna follow that closely. The desk can maybe also see how many games. Obviously, it's important. How well are these players be able to do? And you have substitutes with you, right?
Yep.
You're gonna be able to focus on that. And yeah, says to G on screen. Currently $36,000 after 6 games. That is just crazy. It is literally $6,000 per game. Let's see if they're able to continue that.
36,
right
and then you have Alpha 7 with 40. And then not far back, I mean, you have Team Falcons with $28,000.
Yeah,
and
without
that's what I was going to say. They haven't won a single game, so that's impressive. And in regards to Bigatron, the strategies, from what they did tell me, I think they might just be looking to finish out fights a lot faster.
Right.
I felt like yesterday they took too long and it ended up hurting them, so I'm intrigued to see if they are going to be going for that. As we do see this circle.
Pop
a lot
south.
of teams are going to be pushing south. Going to be seeing Dam 1 Kia trying to make a push there. Guess what? Deadeye's being able to spot somebody from Dam 1 Kia. Sir is going to be very close to them. He closes his door.
Wow.
He needs to be careful there.
Good movement.
Very good movement. If it would have been me, I would have ended up getting knocked by my own nade in an embarrassing clip on Twitter.
Let's not hope that's going to happen. Let's see what Damwon Kia is going to be able to squeeze out of this one. Those guys kind of have the upper hand, being on the roofs already. Garage over there by Song and Fabian can be approached quite easily when you have on top, literally on top of that 2-story balcony building. Has a lot of control and information, and also one nade in hand. Potentially the Molotov could take something down there. Is it going to go in? It's going to go in. It's going to do a lot of damage onto Song. Fabian is on the outside there on the back door, so he's trying to hold that corner. It has been smoked.
Damn, one Kia is getting reinforcements. You can see Forrest now starting to move up with this other teammate as well. We went and picked him up, and now they're going to be making this push to make it a full squad. They need to be careful because somebody from Deadeyes is going to be right there. They crash into the rock, and now they're being spotted. Smokes are going to come out. Deadeye top Sir. Is he going to be able to blow up that vehicle? He does end up getting some shots on himself. And now you're going to be seeing the other Deadeyes players starting to rotate and see maybe he can get an angle on the players from Dam 1 Kia that are stuck in the middle and out in the open.
Pre-needing every corner right now currently. Turlov is trying to just make something happen here now. Forrest and Juni is going to be able to just push and try to do something more. Shari tries to pre-net that corner that Fabian potentially was holding. More utilities being used. Again, a really heavy utility wall in this case. Molotov on the top. That is a really good Molotov. Closing out that top. You cannot run up. Shari pushing in. Oh.
Big opening though for Dam 1 Kia as they are able to knock one of the players that was holding a big off angle for Deadeyes. This is going to be huge for them. How are they going to be able to respond? Are they going to be able to take advantage of this?
Oh!
Forrest and Junie end up getting actually knocked and eliminated.
They are. Oh, they're both knocked still. They're not eliminated just yet. They just got knocked from that. Shift who's going to be pushing in. Song! That is really well played. More action with the shotguns here. Can he get one more? Nope. It's a 2 versus 2 effectively here in this case. And we're in the blue. Fabian finishes off Shari in this. And now Fabian has to try to see if he can push more. Oh my god, it's really well calculated. He heard it potentially. Let's see what Deadeyes guys is going to be able to do this one. Turlov, Shifu with the Molotov. Works out quite well for them. Song and Juni in the bottom.
Fabian going for the high ground too on the road.
Push alone.
Juni going to be able to finish somebody, and
Oh,
Kia
wait.
ends up getting knocked as well.
Shifu last player.
Waiting patiently. He's the last player. It is going to be a 1v3 if they end up picking up their teammate. Let's see if this grenade is going to hit on anybody. It is going to get that elimination, and he is able to secure himself The first special elimination in $2,000.
That's great.
That's
Shifu
comforting
now.
considering that your whole team is
For
already
sure.
eliminated.
First team elimination now. Oh my god, Janine, no, that is just so unfortunate. Now Shifu saw that, and he's going to be pushing right now after that first aid pop-off. Saiga, oh, that's a good nade by Fabian, really calculated. Now Juni's going to be able to be picked off, and Damwon Kia is able to take out Deadeyes, guys.
If Juni is able to knock himself, does that count towards the... Just kidding. Imagine if it did. As we are seeing a replay here from S2G and Star Wars Esports. Star Wars Esports already eliminated Deadeyes. Guys, we just saw what happened to them, eliminated as well.
First team elimination for them, $5,000.
Yep.
Being able to close that one out, that was great to see. Now 7C on screen here, 7. They're going to be rotating in. The circle has popped, and it's kind of centered on Milta and the compounds around it on the north side. That's why you see 7 trying to get into those. They have Enigma Galaxy ahead of them. Falcons 2 in the distance.
Aladdin a little bit far away from his teammate here. He needs to be careful because all the other teams are going to start trying to get just a little bit closer to Milta, get an angle, and see if maybe they can third-party any of those teams that might be out in the open. And guess what? Scout was right. He is currently playing this match as well. This is the actual non-first show match that he's going to be playing at the after-party showdown PMWI. You can see Enigma Galaxy slowing it down. I think they have realized that Rod was getting an off angle on them. Is Lord going to be able to capitalize on this? He's trying to go for the headshot. Oh, he thought about it.
It was lined up. That would have been sick. 7C. Inside the north side of Milta, I kind of like that. They have a good amount of control here. The question is, where does the next couple of circles go? 2-2 split with that warehouse and that garage building, flat top. Vampire on that northwestern side, actually holding out the dirt road. Freak finds Dasha with a headshot. That's huge. An R8 is going to be pulling up on the high ground tower on that west side, on the farm. They're going to have some control there. And now we're really seeing more teams trying to get in and focus on getting those placements locked down. 2 stops, taking some 2 shots towards the compound.
All right, one of the teams that didn't really have one of the best day ones, they're looking to turn it around. Let's see what this new circle is going to end up looking like. You can see Damwon Kia after being able to eliminate Deadeyes. They did end up losing 2 players, but those Ilims, I bet it feels good. And this is a team that can definitely slow down their play and just wait and see what the other teams are going to be doing. And look at that right there. Bigatron, in a way, blessed with that circle. And it's interesting to see how some of the other teams are going to be reacting to that, because if we really try to predict, I think it's going to go straight down in the middle where there's absolutely no cover, Avenger.
Huge amount of field there. There's a big wide compound in the center. Shots coming in for Prestige. Takes down Colsey with a headshot. Nice aim from this young man. He's able to connect a few more. And they obviously know that now it's S2G. They know that they lost players in the kill feed earlier, or elimination tracker in that case. Colsey is going to be having to heal up a 2 R8. Are they going to push aggressively on that, or what is going to happen?
I think he was just readjusting his buggy. I thought they were actually going to go for the push. I was hoping that they would. Prestige just trying to hold the angle, trying to see if anybody's going to hop on that car, and SGG trying to figure out how they're going to be able to escape this. It seems like their car is still intact. It might have all of the 4 tires.
Tall guy, you see, his helmet is sticking out of the roof. That's basically Jason driving around his cars.
So that's what it feels like being tall and driving.
He has to have a sun top roof, you know, like has to be popped off. S2G. Oh, he got knocked out. That is so unfortunate. Try to go for that center shack. More shots comes toward Colsey. Can they get him? Bandar connecting a little bit, but not enough. Colsey's going to be able to go into that. But now they have this information that there's just 1 player left from SGG. They could push that. And Rad is going to have that information too. They are sitting pretty in this compound. We were talking about that big white compound in the center with the fields around it. Now Rad, they're pushing out some nades toward him. I think he's inside the shack. He's going to have to be very precise to hit those nades into the shack. Vampire now on the move. They're going to be moving on.
Bigatron trying to back him off with some shots too. Team Falcons might have been able, I think it was powerful, might have been able to get some shots off as well to Vampire Esports. Vampire Esports continuing on with that rotation. They are going to stop, and it was powerful. Getting an angle there on that rotation from Vampire Esports. Bigatron is going to be keeping an eye on Vampire Esports as they are very, very close to them now. They do have a 3-1 split at the moment with Bigatron. I think one of the players, that one player, Suxy, that was far away, I think now he's starting to get a little bit closer to his team. And now we're looking at Alpha 7 against Damn 1 Kia. Keep in mind, Damn 1 Kia, only 2 players.
Ooh, that's a good Molotov. It does block off that doorway, but I think he was in the stairway and on the other side. 7, they're going to have to cross, and you see here in the back, 7C is over there, and they could be filling in and maybe sweeping in behind Alpha 7. So Revo is right now on watch duty. He's going to have to get the information for the team to make sure that they don't get pushed from behind. Circle is closing here. The teams have, majority of the teams have managed to get in. We only lost Deadeye, Scars, and Stalwart so far. So it's going to pop 7. It goes hard southeast.
I was way off. I thought there was going to be, in a way, not that many buildings around. Guess what? Alpha 7 with the rotation, that's going to be wonderful. Damn 1 Kia is going to be super happy too. Rod couldn't be in an even better position, but they are going to have to be careful because R8, more than likely, is going to be looking to take that compound. Bigatron is going to be rotating from the north down south, and they might try to crash on some of the buildings there too. Vampire Esports, Team Falcons, just so many possibilities in Team Falcons. More than likely just trying to wait, see how some of the other teams are going to be rotating and trying to get some kind of elimination as they are rotating. You can see Spray got there being shot at as he was trying to make his way towards that building. Scout trying to spot somebody.
A rough setup though, only a 1 helmet and 1 vest. 30% damage reduction, that offers only less durability. Mafia also takes some damage. He has a 2 vest and a 3 helmet, so he's happy. He's going to pop a first aid. So let's see what Falcons is able to do from this location. They're going to have to push on to the Enigma Galaxy guys. They're going to have to smoke to get all the way over there now. A lot of teams is going to have to push in from this northwestern angle. Vampire, Bigatron, Falcons. Not a lot of space to accommodate all those teams.
Not a lot at all. And then you can see SGG there being eliminated by R8. And now R8 getting shot at by Rod. Bandar getting eliminated with the nade by Rod. We knew that push was going to happen at some point, but it's an interesting push from R8. You guys can't currently see it, but the players are actually, you can see it, the players are just so spread out. I think they were trying to see how they were going to be able to approach this. I wish they would have been a little bit closer because now they're going to have to be careful with some of the other teams that are being rotating from the north. We talked about it earlier, Bigatron. You can see Prestige here having to make a push, trying to revive his player. And meanwhile, Bigatron and Vampire Esports are slowly starting to sneak their way in. Rod able to realize that. And now Sadat just laying down and waiting patiently. Genfos, can you hit this?
That would have been a wild nade if he's able to put that in.
That would have been a great one. Enigma Galaxy getting eliminated.
Alpha 7 Esports able to pick that up. They could potentially be looking good for that. Oh, Genfos takes a lot of damage. Has to try to stay in. Rad in a really good spot to defend this. Loxy goes down. And now Genfos is left in the smokes. He's going to try to confirm those eliminations out there. And now Soxy, Misery inside this building here. Sword Desha has to relocate. Has to try to get up. Gets one more. Stat gets down to Soxy. Munir is able to defend this. Misery's on the top. With a DPS in hand, Desha could be pushing that.
And Genfos is still going to be alive. He's able to heal up. He might be able to get an angle. Misery being able to knock one of the players there from Rod Kait. He was trying to get an angle, but ultimately he exposed himself for too long. Here comes the DBS. He's not able to connect. Desha with the DBS going to be pushing Misery. Misery heard that DBS. He's like, you know what? I kind of don't want anything to do with that. We saw what happened yesterday with Top in Livik.
Really good movement for Misery, though. Jumped up, jumped into the balcony, and then jumped out off. The SK Ton outside. Munir, Desha, last 2 players for Rad. Misery putting out some more utility. Nice shots coming in for Misery. He's able to take down Munir. Now it's Misery versus Desha potentially in this case. They have to clean it up quickly because R8 is lurking in the background.
Misery taking his time, making sure he gets that elimination. You mentioned it, R8 is going to be making that push. Luxy does end up getting knocked, and he is currently getting shot by some other team. I think it might have been Team Falcons. Team Falcons earlier did end up eliminating Vampire Esports. You can see Misery trying to go for that.
7C धीरे-धीरे push करते हुए और 7C का कमाल देखना.
The only team right now with 4 players alive is Alpha 7 Esports. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they already eliminated some of the players too from 7C Esports. and an engagement that they had.
التايم لاين وتسوق من متجر التطبيق. الليدر بورد على تفاعلك بالتطبيق والجواب.
Coming on later today. And he's going to slow down. What a beautiful grenade there from Korea. And here comes the push from Alpha 7. Alpha 7, the aggressive team, they're able to eliminate Dam1 Kia. And Alpha 7 just slowly but surely continues moving on. The aggressiveness that they're currently showing is amazing for this team. Scout, even though he is about to be in the zone, he does decide to take some shots. He ends up backfiring. Revo ends up
Congratulations, you're champions for PMWI After Show. Oh man, the After Party Showdown just being completely run away with from Alpha 7. A question I asked you guys before we started, can Alpha 7 maintain the pace we saw yesterday? Yes.
Yeah, and we talked about it in PMGC last year, right? They're a team that loves that momentum, right? When they have a high, they just keep riding that high, and they brought it in day 2, which is exceptional, and they got already 3 wins. Like, I think they have like twice as many points as second place now. Like, that is wild.
It's not like this game was even easy for them either.
Yeah.
This is a simulation game set in a virtual world and does not represent real life. Please play in moderation, take frequent breaks, and play responsibly.
Team match, let's go.
The blue team has scored for the first time!
मार लो ना तो बराबर
I need a weapon.
Target down.
I need a weapon. I need a weapon. I need a weapon. I need a weapon.
Dead.
ओए झोटा साला पर ही फंस गया
Clear. Reloading. No mercy! Cover me! Reloading!
Killing spree for the red team! The red team is in the lead.
Cover me! Reloading!
Killing spree for the red team! Killing spree for the red team!
Be careful! You're losing the game!
The red team is heading to a perfect win!
Cover me! Enemy down! Red team victory!
Of plays better for them here at this tournament. For me, Biggest From Red Aliens has been just such a emotional.
Your friends and get your hands on a free permanent legendary set. I believe actually us here at the event, I've gotten really close to this now, considering how much PUBG Mobile we've been playing the last few days. But also for you guys at home, there's a survey going on. You guys need to go check out a link found in chat or over on Tencent social media. And make sure you guys give some feedback to the show. Maybe it's about talent, maybe it's about format, maybe it's about players, maybe it's about how we need to give 7 Worlds Gaming more boxes until he becomes the tallest man on the desk. However, I think you'd be able to see his shoes by then. But gentlemen, Avengers, 7 Worlds Gaming, take it away.
I would be totally okay with that. Except, as you said, you would definitely be able to see my shoes. I will be towering. I just don't picture myself towering over you, Avenger. But you know what? I am happy to see Alpha 7 performing well, because this man right here, ladies and gentlemen, do Brazil, is performing really, really good. And I can't wait to see if they're actually going to continue to perform that way.
Yeah, it'll be obviously be curious to see. They have been dominating so far, and obviously these guys coming out of Brazil, and the performance that they've had has just been insane. But we are going over to Livik in this format here with 48 players. It's obviously a tiny, tiny map the size of Karrakin, 2x2. Karrakin's a little bit smaller because there's a little bit more water around. But the question is, how do these guys approach it? How do these guys play this one out? It's really interesting to see compared to how they did yesterday, and if they're able to step up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm intrigued to see how some of the other teams are going to be performing. We saw the Dash talking about Bigatron, and if it's maybe time to get rid of the twins, Lexi and Saxi. No, I feel like that Bigatron without the twins would not be Bigatron.
Right.
And I am intrigued to see how they're going to be playing. I mean, Alpha 7, that last game alone, they ended up getting $20,000. That is a lot of money just for one game. So Bigatron, are they going to be maybe changing their strategies at some point, trying to go after that money? We are seeing where some of these teams are going to be landing. And I would be intrigued to see if we actually end up getting some kind of hot drops. You can see Alpha 7 going with the full North rotation by State and Stable. They need to be careful, though, because there is some players there from Team Falcons. And if we go down, Vampire Esports is going to be able to just loot up power plant. A great place to go to. Actually, I either like to go Midstein or I like to go power plant. That's where I have the best of luck finding some loot.
I like to go Crab Crash because that's where I'm really channeling my inner Saki Crawdad. Because there's center, there's a good amount of loot. We had a good ending close to it. And yeah, I really love that one because it's just center, good rotations. The roads are close to it. Yeah, next circle is going to pop, and it's not going to matter too much because literally the entirety of the circle is almost in here with the first one. The guys in the south obviously is going to have to move.
Yeah, and I love that I'm hearing the crowd right now. Oh, they're getting hyped. R8 had a great performance in that last match. And guess what? Team Falcons is going to be getting the first elimination, and they are going to be getting that first elimination reward, $2,000 going for Team Falcons. That's going to make them really, really happy. This is a team that's currently in 3rd place for the overall, and they have been racking up a lot of those match rewards. Dead Ice Cream. I love hearing that crowd, and I love that everybody's currently watching PMWI together, and you at home can watch PMWI together in game at the Esports Center with your friends to win PMWI special sets. And while you're at it, don't forget that PMWI packages are on sale for a limited time, and you can also win PMWI. Amazing. I definitely want one.
Yeah,
Adventure.
For sure. The skins are absolutely nuts here. As you see, our rewards ranking earnings so far, $60,000 for Alpha 7. Just crazy. I'm on Kia Falcons 32-30 and S2G on 41. It's been very top-heavy so far. You can definitely tell here in our earnings leaderboard. It's kind of crazy to see these teams being able to get this much. Yeah, let's see if they're able to close it out for sure for the rest of the one. But we are on day 2. We are playing a total of 3 days, 18 games total. And once we're done with our game of the day, the next one after this one, of course, we are going to be halfway through. We're going to have a really good idea of how the situation is. And, you know, the guys on desk, they're quick to just announce the winner. All right, it's the BMW Afterparty Showdown. But I think, obviously, I mean, once we go into day 3, the other teams are going to be super aware that Alpha 7 needs to be stopped. And once they pop up in the elimination tracker, they are going to be, you know, kind of hunted and focused on a little bit. Otherwise, there's just going to be those guys winning, right?
Yeah, I mean, Alpha 7 currently 37 points with the lead. It's different between first place and second place.
Yeah.
But I think that's achievable for a lot of those teams. They could try to push for that, right? Maybe not in just one game, but they might be able to do it within 2 games. And if Alpha 7 does end up having a bad match, which we have seen over and over again in PUBG Mobile, yeah, you might be very dominant on the first day. You might be very dominant at the start of day 2. But if you don't continue on that consistency, you can fall off very, very fast. Alpha 7, though, it's not looking to be like that. But Damwon, Kia, and Team Falcons, I'm pretty sure they are looking at that gap and wanting to close it down. Star Wars Esports getting on some shots there to Team Falcons, making sure to back off. And I'm excited to see, oh, I do see it right away. Top does have that shotgun on his back. Smart man, especially with what he was able to achieve yesterday during that show match.
Yeah, for sure. Fights are coming out already. About 4 guys really close to each other. Never alone here. He's going to stim up, try to move around a little bit, get some information. He's alone in this crossroad compound. Question is the other guys going to come to him, or is he going to try to kind of evacuate the situation?
I think he's just going to be waiting to see what his team is going to be doing. The team is going to go up to Ronhez. And he just might be waiting, honestly. S2G, very, very close to 7 Cs. You can see Powerful from Team Falcons back there, too. And the after-party showdown, we're talking about the points. Well, guess what? You just got a chance to see that 37-point lead for Alpha 7.
That's some oomph to that. 37 points after 7 games. That is crazy, considering you get 10 points for a win and 1 point per elimination. Silas.
S2G.
Yeah, they're looking at what the situation could be for that one here. Could take on 7 Cs.
And S2G actually,
towards it.
They're going to decide to be aggressive here. Silas, all of the S2G squads, the shotguns are going to be coming out. They're going to be getting down some angles. S2G being able to knock 3 players. Now it's only Adeline from 7 Cs. Can he survive? It's going to be a very tough one. S2G playing super, super aggressive right now. I don't think Adeline has any of the shotguns. This is going to be too much. S2G just coming in and destroying them. 7 Cs is able to knock down Ray C, but not able to confirm that elimination. Great, great push there by S2G, and that's what we want to see, especially on smaller maps like this. If you are going to be taken into a fight, make sure you fully go for it and finish it quickly, because a little bit longer, I feel like Team Falcons might have decided to actually third party that. Instead, Team Falcons decides to back off and not try to third party.
Yeah, I like that. The push from that really worked out well for them. Vampire here. Ravenclaw takes on Chari from Deadeye's guys. Let's see if he's going to be able to finish this off. More supporters coming in. Circle has popped. It's gone kind of south, so it's not going to change too much. Chari takes himself down the grenade. That's going to be finished off with that. That's Schweppes just sweeping in, getting that confirmed together here with Ravenclaw. They have 1 elimination point confirmed now in this case. And they are onto a kind of a situation here in Crabgrass. The question is, do they continue to fight for it here, those guys, or do they just kind of back off? Here, see the push from S2G. They're opening there. The opening knock was just such a go sign for them. They're like, all right, guys, let's try to see if we can secure those $5,000 for the first team, full team elimination. They were able to do so. That was crazy to see.
And I think 17 was just not expecting that. They were expecting the knock and maybe one of the players starting to relocate and trying to get maybe an off angle on their team. Little do they blink, and then all of a sudden they have the full squad of S2G pushing towards it, and I think that's ultimately what ended up working there for S2G. And on that replay, we did get a chance to see Team Falcons. Powerful was setting himself up to third party, but as I mentioned, if you finish off that fight quickly, I think they're going to think about it twice, considering that only 1 player from S2G was knocked. See Vampire Esports only trying to take control of Crabgrass here. They were able to get somebody from Deadeye's earlier. Star Wars Esports still maintaining the same position that they were maintaining earlier in the match, too, staying a little bit off the west of Midstein. A great position in this map. Bigatron talking about it, and interesting stuff. Luxie's actually sitting out for this match, so the Dez is going to have a lot of stuff to talk about. They were talking about what happens if the twins are not playing. Well, guess what? One of the twins is currently not playing. I did enjoy what Max was saying in regards to the synergy. Genfoss. Oh, Genfoss decides to take some shots, but unluckily the player from SCG just decides to move at the right time, and now they have given away their position with 0 knocks to themselves. We're looking at this circle. Alpha 7 just maintaining that north position. Enigma Galaxy currently having one of their players knock. Not sure if it might have been Alpha 7. Carrillo and Revo are currently very, very close to each other.
Oh,
And they do have
Deadice
a
guys
major
and
spread,
Vampire. Yeah, look at that. We see some shots coming out over by Crabgrass. See what's gonna happen in that situation.
Everybody
finds-
just slowing it down a little
Yeah.
bit more too.
Once they saw the first wipe
Yep.
in the elimination tracker, right? You want to be all right, and then we don't have to go for it. We're not going to be as aggressive anymore. And this is the case here where we see super aggressive playstyle, and then once the eliminations, the first kind of knocks and everything has been taken off the board, and you're not able to get the money from that, then people start playing a little bit more careful and considered to try to make themselves a chicken dinner and prepare that for them.
Ooh.
That's a Western shift here. That's going to be good for Crabgrass.
That's exactly right. That's exactly what I was going to say, too. Your favorite landing, Crabgrass, might have been spot on. Vampire Esports, now it appears that they're just taking full control of Crabgrass. That's going to be good. But as we were talking about it yesterday during the show match towards the south, where RA Esports is with Damwon Kia is, they need to be careful because they can definitely get some angles on them. And you were pointing towards the north, too. I mean, there is still one player from Deadice.
Yeah, exactly. There's Deadice guys up there, and also Nick Galaxy up by there, and also Nick Galaxy up by Blobster. Actually, a fun story. Blobster means flowers in Danish. Kind of crazy mental things. It doesn't feel like a lot of stuff is happening here, but especially in this map, I really feel like home. There's a lot of Danish words, Danish things here, obviously with the terrain and the layout being up in the north. R8 Esports Bandar on screen. Potentially could be taking on Damwon Kia in this case.
Just playing it slow, playing that snake roll. Damwon Kia just looking around, trying to see if they can spot anybody. And this is going to be huge. I think they might have been able to spot somebody there from R8. Oof. You can see S2G now setting themselves up. There's only 2 players there from Alpha 7. Alpha 7 has lost a player. King Carrillo hit those shots. He is able to hit some, but he's not able to knock the player from S2G. And S2G, we saw the aggressiveness that they had earlier. Mafioso able to actually get a knock on one of the players from S2G, and he decides to push up a little bit, continue to be that aggressor that he has been this whole time. He needs to be careful, though. He cannot get knocked here because he's going to be by himself, and his teammates are actually across the road. They're not going to be able to pick him up. With this fight continuing, S2G looking to just reset themselves. They are going to be able to get that revive on Hanslow, player that was knocked. Alpha 7 trying to throw some nades, trying to see if they can maybe connect with anything over there, trying to get another knock. Ooh, Kasi does get a lot of damage from a grenade thrown by Carrillo. Mafioso's now going to be a little bit trapped, being in the blue zone. And I think SCG ultimately is going to be smart, and they're going to decide to back off.
That's kind of surprising, honestly. But yeah, they did take a lot of damage from this case. That's a good knock right there onto Colsey. Carrillo able to find him. Hamsy's going to go for it. No, he's going to go for a first aid first. They're outside in the blue zone too, so it takes kind of a lot of damage. Nate's coming out. He's going to try to do a little bit. Deadice guys has been eliminated by Vampire Esports. That's a good shot at finishing that off quickly. Colsey, they're able to secure that point. Mafioso. Oh, he's been spotted. That's a good shotgun peek with that. I love that by Hamsy. Going to be able to finish him off too. That's a little bit of a quick situation for them. The question is Mythic going to be able to pick up? Yeah, he's going to pick up Carrillo in this case. Circle is closing, and it's kind of north of Crabgrass that we could potentially see an ending here.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You cannot take too long with those fights, whether it's the third party or whether it's the blue zone. With the way that the circles are currently closing in so much faster, you need to make sure if it's a fight, you're going to have to finish it very quickly. Now, Alpha 7 going to be in a big spot here as they're only going to have 2 players, Mythic and Carrillo. Been talking about how they've been so good at keeping up their 4 players alive. Well, guess what? It hasn't happened here in this match, and now we're looking at Enigma Galaxy looking to take some shots here at S2G. Not able to get any knocks. Hamodi, can he get a knock? He does get a knock, but he ends up getting traded out as well. Silas making the push. How is Enigma Galaxy going to be able to adjust to this rotation by S2G? Freak, I think he was going to try to go for the revive there on Hamodi. It's not going to end up happening. Silas decides to back off. He actually ends up getting knocked. Ray C, can he get a shot on Freak here? Can he get an angle? Freak too much. Just getting the shots there on S2G. S2G, the rotation didn't end up working out for them. And ultimately, the fight that they had with Alpha 7 does end up hindering us. Alpha 7, they lost 2 earlier, but they're still being alive. And you can see them playing very, very slow. Very close to Rod.
Yeah, Rod here on screen. They are on the east side. They're going to potentially be trying to gatekeep as much as they can, but Mythic with 3 more grenades in hand could potentially find an open knock with this here. This is really rough. Mythic.
Ooh.
Oh, he's down to 1 HP. That is just so close. Kaito, more grenades are just coming out. Can he? Oh, he has so much utility. It's crazy. Can he find Kaito? Kaito's down to 1 HP again. One more nade there with the corner. He could potentially find Desha in that case if it's able to just connect it. Oh, it finds Desha. It's on the money. Now Kaito has to move too. He's low. Kaito still with just a couple HP.
Great utility there from Mythic. He's going to be able to confirm on that knock. He's going to be able to spot somebody else. He switches on them. He knocks him down. He does end up getting traded, but guess what? All of that information, all of those utility that he was using allow Korea to just reposition himself. He might be able to get an angle here on some of the players from Rod. He needs to be careful though, because now Freak from Enigma Galaxy is going to be able to spot him. Korea having to work with the zone just on him, and he also has another team behind him. I think it's going to be too much as he does end up getting eliminated. Enigma Galaxy eliminating Alpha 7. And moving on, and now Rod is going to just finding themselves in big positions here. A lot of other fights have been going on. Team Falcons currently has 1 player down. Bigatron Esports with only 2 players up, and as we're saying that, we see what happened. They have Liquid and Mystery, as the other player does end up getting confirmed eliminated. Bigatron trying to reposition themselves here. They need to be careful because the M1 Kia is going to be pushing up on them. And they also have, as I said, that M1 Kia Fabian getting shot by Lord from Enigma Galaxy. Great spots, and Powerful returning the favor there for the M1 Kia instead and knocking Freak. This is going to be huge for Team Falcons. That's the knock that they needed. Are they going to make this push? You can see they're all setting themselves up in the car. One of the players actually did not end up getting on. I'm not sure if that was meant to be or not, but Damar, Yusuf, the players from Team Falcon slowly crawling their way up to Bigatron and to Enigma Galaxy.
Oh, they find Yusuf, Monkey on that push from the side. Forrest Juni left alive, and he gets knocked. Forrest is left to try to heal, but I think that is that for them. They're going to be going out here in 4th place. Monkey with 4 points for the placement. There were a few eliminations too. I believe it was 2. Now Falcons could potentially pull up that revive. Molotov. That's a good Molotov to deny, especially that push Freak potentially could be on, yeah. And now we're down to Enigma Galaxy with 3, Bigatron with 2, and Falcons now with the revive popped off with 4 guys strong. Lord, they have full information here on the Bigatron guys. Freak does take Damar down, and now it's a 3v3 effectively.
Powerful, very close. Great grenade there by him. He's not able to knock off Freak. Powerful. He's going to be able to connect some shots. He's able to see Freak. He is going to end up getting that knock, barely surviving himself. The Molotovs are coming in from Team Falcons, forcing Enigma Galaxy to just rotate in a way that they didn't want to. Bigatron is still alive, just waiting patiently to see who else is going to be getting knocked. And I think Team Falcons is trying to make push here. Powerful. Playing it very slow, healing up. Here comes the nades. Liquid being able to knock one of the players there from Team Falcons. And now this is the push that we're waiting for Enigma Galaxy. I think Team Falcons is just becoming the focus of all the other teams, sadly. And here we go. Liquid. Can he get this knock? He does have the shotgun. We saw what happened yesterday. Guess what? Raouf does have 1 too. He's going to make the jump. He's not going to be able to connect with that. And now Team Falcons does have the advantage. Can they confirm here on Liquid? And no, Team Falcons able to actually get the chicken dinner. Great play there by Team Falcons. 2 teams who are going up against them. Look at them. They are very happy. Yeah, tell them that is $10,000. Kalaris is going to be very happy that his favorite team of the tournament got that chicken dinner.
I'm super happy for them to be able to close one out here. They had 2 second places so far, and now they're able to take this chicken dinner. Huge for Falcons. They needed that. And that means that the guys on the desk are obviously going to have a huge happy time talking about Falcons. Kalaris in the distance is super happy. He's cheering in the background.
He's going like this. He's like, yeah, he's punching it up. I want to see that when you come to the desk. We are going to be taking a break because I'm pretty sure Kalaris needs to just calm down a little bit before he breaks down everything that happened there with Team Falcons after this break.
عايز تترجم راب؟ تعالى لي. ملوك الصين دي انا ملخصها في سطور، بس مين يقرا؟ فاهم؟ كلام الشارع ده انا هرشه كل المجال حبايبي. بروز.
وانا كاكازوكو مصدق القي نظرة لو على الحلاوة عندي كاستر بالاسم.
عفرت يا عفرت، هتفضل معفرتها ولا ايه يا برو؟
انت مين يا هو ازاي ده دخل هنا يا جدعان؟
نكسر الدنيا الاول وبعدين نتكلم، نعيد من الاول.
لا 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 مش مسجل.
اخواتي
عشان فاهمين السين، سبوتيفاي عمل لك بلاي ليست الاقوى راب مصري، اسمع ملوك السين ببلاش.
We the future that you run from, hitting harder than a bass drum, and we're only getting louder, and we're only getting prouder. Lights out, lights out. Lights out, lights out.
Feeling fine are the Falcons that they're flying high off a victory here. No, go ahead, Cloris.
Fantastic stuff from them coming in. I love it. I apologize, Jason, for interrupting you.
No, don't apologize. You are very right. They just won. Let's take a look at the match rankings. This is brought to you by STC as they get themselves $10,000 and 17 points closer to approaching Alpha 7.
And finally, a Team Falcons chicken dinner.
That's right.
They need to get eventually right. They were consistently towards the top, not quite able to actually close off that game, but they played the edge. It is their playstyle. They play it so good. They kept getting the reses, remaining as a 3-4-man crew the longest time, and then you have Liquid that just cleared, like, make job way easier for them to get the finishing blow. But it was a really good game from Falcons.
It was actually just a matter of time before they got themselves chicken dinner, considering the placements they were in, considering the position that they constantly get themselves here in these games, and considering the performance we saw from them last weekend when it came to PMWI, the main event here, Jason. I'm excited to see them get this chicken dinner. I think it's not going to be the last of the day. Never mind the tournament.
If Team Falcons don't get a second chicken dinner on the day, will you give us your best Falcon impression on air?
If they don't get another chicken dinner on the day, I will shave Maxman's eyebrows.
What? Hey, wait.
Shake your
I
hands.
did not agree to this.
That's agreed.
Wait,
All right.
Thank you.
For Maxman.
Continue.
No, I don't want this.
Well, this is going to be great to see. Obviously, if you want to see, I mean, now I'm rooting against Team Falcons, so now I feel a little bit conflicted here, to be honest. Let's take a look at the rankings and how they broke down in terms of money, right? Let's see the awards the teams got for this one. Maybe Rad's going to be there. Maybe they got themselves their $1,000 for the first time. Not here.
Not now.
Next one, maybe.
That would be the most unfortunate result or end of this event if they don't get any money from.
Yeah, you still get like 15K, 10K. I don't remember the last place prize. You still get some money.
Yes.
Yeah, but to have a goose egg for match rewards,
consolation prize
would hurt.
We felt bad. So
I mean, S2G is also pumping here when it comes to the money coming down in. More going their way. Airdrops as well as eliminations happening. And Team Nigma Galaxy, I mean, considering the compound that they had to work with, very nice indeed. I think for some of these teams, we saw R8, for example, head into Crabgrass very early. I don't think that's a winning strategy here on Livic. We say all the time, don't go into a city unless you think it's going to end there. It's especially important here for Livic when it comes to a lot of these cities sitting in these valleys. We don't have much time. I'm trying to talk fast. I'm sorry, I'll apologize again.
I mean, all you really need to say here is M1014.
M1014. Yeah, actually, we saw so much of it in this game.
There was so much.
And it's great to see because it's an excellent gun.
You had what, Nigma Galaxy versus Liquid of BTR taking the M1014 like battle.
The drop down.
Yeah, the drop down. There is so much happening, right? And there you go. Happens once more.
And it's cool because there's so many kind of crashes that go on in this map. There's so much close combat going on in this map. That's right. And I think overall,
you're a phone.
That's right. I'm the Sony Xperia. Yeah, there's so much potential for that gun on this battleground. And I think these players also are seeing it as the days go on.
I would say it's kind of similar to Vikeni in the sense you have those compounds and you have a lot of open ground around, right? So you have to crash late game. It is a necessity. And you saw that crash from like S2G versus, I believe it was 7C.
7C.
Right? The M101... Sorry, the...
M101... I'm not going to do it every time.
Okay, sorry. It was very, very impactful in that fight. So when you want to go for the crash, if you have just even one or two, it will make a pretty big difference.
Yeah, and obviously, Clarence, you've been kind of theorizing. It's not bad to have on like 1 or 2 different players having a shotgun, depending on what, obviously on any pretty much map.
In actual meta as well, I think you can easily afford it in your loadout because M4s are so versatile, etc. And we're done.
Oh, we're done for now. Well, you're done for now. I'm not done just yet because I got to bring our casters in since we have 45 seconds left to go over onto the Candy. But before I can throw it on over to them, I'm going to give a big shout out once again here to Spotify and to Razer for helping to make this event possible. But gentlemen, we have the Candy coming up next. Yesterday, it was a super northern circle. We're hoping for a castle finish. You know, Max would love it, but not as much as he loves these two's commentary. 7, Worlds Gaming. I want to leave you at 7, but I'm going to give you the whole thing, the whole shout out. These 7 Worlds Gaming and Avenger.
Yes, please give him the whole thing. And I think you guys should shave Max eyebrows. I second that. How about you?
Yeah,
Avenger?
I mean, I'm fantastic, and I love that segment. I love how there's just the leeway in between and the synergy in between Jason and Calera is just crazy. It's just leaving Maxman in the dust. And also, you know, it would be nice to see Maxman fully shaven. Just not the eyebrows, the whole thing. The beard, the eyebrows, the hair, everything off. Just complete bald. And
he does have great hair, though.
Yeah, it could be the next. That could be the next bet we're gonna see from those guys. But we are on to Candy. We didn't get the chance to cast it yesterday, and we're off to a really, really spicy one with the playing path being super far north here, as you're gonna see once we go into the game. The stage looking amazing here in Riyadh, and as you see here, we are going really far north. So we're kind of hoping for this next one maybe to go on the southern side, right? Because that would be really hard for the teams to try to traverse that. My favorite drop here is Dino Park. The amount of loot in that place is just through the roof. You get so fast looted. Also, Cosmo is also nice, but it usually gets contested when I play it. Yeah, all right, let's see. Is it going to be a castle ending? Are we going to have some crazy things happening? And it's the triple Alpha 7-7.
Most eliminations, 18, 18, and 13. And then guess what? When we go to top players, yeah, I'm not surprised to see that there.
Nice
Revo
damage.
actually, I'm intrigued by that because Revo is being able to edge off Carrillo. And as I mentioned yesterday, there's players, yes, they might be in the same team, but they like to be competitive with each other. They do like those bragging rights.
Sure.
So,
and 5 headshots from Mythic. That is crazy to see. Yeah. And knockouts too, also triple 7-7.
Yeah, you know, it's just Alpha 7 just dominating so far. Can they continue on with this kind of performances? And Nate Illems, guess what? We do get one of the twins there, Luxy, with at least 2. And nobody has been able to surpass Jen Foss with that longest elimination with 363.
73 meters longer than Race. That is just crazy. It's obviously super hard to get. Oh my God, we're going to get super far east for this one. Actually, not too bad. As you see on your screen here, there's a lot of teams already dropping. We do have a few teams on that western side that's going to have to make a rotation, but it's going to be easy and dandy for everyone here. Again, thanks to Sony Xperia for being our official smartphone partner here at the PMWI PUBG Mobile World Invitational here at GAMERS8 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Amazing to have you guys on board. And Nigma Galaxy on screen. They're going to be sharing this combo. Not going to be a lot of loot for them. And they are going to be outside of Dino Park, just on the east side. Nobody is in there, so they could go loot that. A lot of teams on that western side is in there.
Yeah, a lot of teams with great skins, too. Keep an eye out for the PMWI packages are on sale for a limited time. And you can also win PMWI treasure crates if you play PUBG Mobile during PMWI. And while you're at it, don't forget, watch PMWI together in-game eSports Center with your friends to win some PMWI special sets.
Never Alone on screen here for Team Falcons with a fantastic win just last one. As you see on your right side, rewards ranking is updated. $60,000 for Alpha 7, 48 for S2G, and 42 for Falcons now that they're able to put a chicken dinner on the board there. That's amazing to see. But 101 points, 30 points. Falcon actually closed the gap a little bit from the 37 we saw before. So 30 points now down to second place. But the rest is actually really close as well. Falcons, down Monkey, S2G from 50 points up to 66, 16 points difference there, and 21 up to Falcons. A lot of teams have a huge opportunity just with one game. One good game could potentially put you into the top 3.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we kind of see what happened in last week, where it came down to the final match, whether it was going to be Team Falcons or Wildfire Esports. And I'm hoping that this is going to happen here, whether it's Team Falcons or whoever it might be, Alpha 7. I am a little bit biased, because Alpha 7, but Team Falcons has been performing really, really well, and hopefully they will continue to perform like that. That way, Maxman doesn't end up losing his eyebrows. He really, really, really loves him. So I'm hoping, even though I secretly want it to happen, I'm hoping it doesn't happen.
The worst thing you can do is shave one eyebrow, because it takes so long for the other one to grow out, right? It's just, it does not look good, and it takes so long for it to grow out. Like one of the slowest growing hair or places of hair that you can grow out, except for your
eyelashes.
Eyelashes, exactly. Those are also pretty slow. Except if it's you, of course. You have luscious eyelashes and eyebrows, of course. So you could shave them off, and then in a couple of weeks they'll be back.
Stop it! You're making me blush. Enigma Galaxy making a rotation here with the snowmobile. Boy, it's been a while since we've seen something candy, and I forgot about this snowmobiles. Definitely interesting. When I used to drive them, they were not the best with controlling them, and
yeah, they're better off road than on the road.
Yep, yeah, definitely, 100%.
That's
you can
the
see
big
them
one, right?
switching off there with one of the snow bikes. I don't even remember what this one is called, to be completely honest. But I know that one is, to control it is even worse than the snowmobile. You can see Bigatron right here just taking full control of the compound. And it's interesting, as I'm looking at the map here, Vampire Esports is going to be able, if they do end up rotating towards the east, instead of making a long rotation, they are going to be able to rotate just absolutely freely to Cosmodrome and Trefno if they decide to.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to be completely fine with that. The question is, how are we going to see those other rotations? Because right now we see a lot of teams coming in from that south side. There's guys. Shifu on screen is going to pick up on top. He has a G36C in hand, I see. Maybe he prefers playing that. I actually kind of like it as well. Fortunately, I don't think it's as good as the M4. It's just somewhere in between. A little bit too weak. The punch is too high. Like it's somewhere in between the M4 and the Scar. But yeah, it's not my personal preference, but I think it's a cool weapon in general, and I think it's a nice one for this one here. Luxy with the 4x on it, he's going to be able to absolutely shred people if he's able to close them out. Not that much utility. I see 6 smokes and 1 grenade on them. Here we see Rat coming out and rotating. They are coming in from the south side again, a really populated area.
Going to be trying to make their way up to the north by Cement Factory. And I was going to point out, 7Cs is still so far out. They were in Double Maestro. And with that
team... You know why, right?
Why?
Because we're on Vikendi, so it's a cold map. So they move slowly because they're frozen. 7Cs.
Well, it's not just Vikendi. I mean, this team has definitely been moving very, very slow. They are currently sitting at the bottom of the leaderboard. And I think we are going to be getting our first fight between S2G. Oh, no, it's actually Deadeyes and Bigatron. Deadeyes making some of the players there from Bigatron back off. I did end up seeing some of the S2G players, and we know what S2G has been able to do. If they do see an opening, they are going to make that push, especially if they get that knock. But with 7Cs, this is a team that has been playing very, very slow. They are currently sitting at the bottom of the leaderboard. Yes, they have been able to win some of the earnings, but I would like for them to become a little bit more aggressive and not playing so passive. They have the skill. We saw what Scout was able to do yesterday. Yes, it was during a show match. Yes, it was just against 2 people, but I do want to see a little bit more aggressiveness, as we do have Rod here against R8 Esports, who's going to be getting the first knock. We haven't had an eliminate yet, and somebody's going to be looking forward to it. Is it going to be Rod? He's going to be wanting to confirm that. You can see Rod being the first one to eliminate right there and getting $2,000.
Oh, he goes down as well.
Getting knocked from behind.
Yeah, and Rod actually looking pretty damn good here. That was impressive. Rod being able to take down R8 Esports. Super impressive of the guys coming out of Egypt here. Kaito on screen. Well played by them. Now we have Deadeyes, guys. More G36Cs in action. Smoke come out. I think Shifu's going to be completely done here. Yeah, he's going to bleed out. That's unfortunate for Deadeyes, guys. Losing a player like that. That is Luxy confirming that one. And now the circle is closing. Luckily, it's kind of center. It's going to be kind of easy here for Peshkova. We could see a potential urban ending with that. Peshkova is actually kind of nice with that road that's going through the center and all the open buildings. A lot of fights with that. And as you're pointing out here, a lot of teams are still not inside the circle, 7.
Yeah, Enigma Galaxy very separate from each other. I think they're looting. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that team. Maybe they're trying to get some of the heals. Hopefully they're not trying to go for a heal up. Team Falcons making now their push towards the east. And then you see Damwon Kia just sneakily making their push towards up north. Right. They need to be careful because they might end up running into Alpha 7 because Alpha 7 is going to take that full control. So I think two teams that had the exact same idea, interested to see what's going to happen there if Damwon Kia does not end up just changing their rotation. Overall, though, most of the teams now in this zone, Bigatron set themselves up perfectly. I'm glad that they didn't end up losing anybody earlier to Dead Eyes, as I think they were scouting to see if they wanted to take that compound. Dead Eyes did back them up just in time to stop everybody else. And Bigatron is currently playing with both of their twins, Luxy and Suxy. So I think it might be just that Luxy doesn't like Livik. I'll have to ask him and I'll find out for everybody tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be great to hear. And obviously, there's also that touch, right? We're playing these 6 different maps. Some players might have a huge preference. Like, it's one of their favorite maps, right? And the other players, if they hate it, you want to swap out. You want to have these players that have a huge insight and a lot of knowledge, because the terrain on each map is so vastly different. So if you're able to have an upper hand or some information that some of the other players don't have, that's the nice thing about being able to substitute, you know, every single game. The synergy up between the 5 guys are obviously very high usually. First airdrop collected here for Colsey for S2G. S2G representing here out of Turkey. Ooh, that is 7C gone down. That is not good for them. S2G being able to find that one. Race on screen, as you see. This 3-finger setup, it looks like.
I forgot how wonderful that ghillie suit does look on the snow.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Taking advantage of it. It looks absolutely
so
amazing.
hard to see players when they're rocking it and they're playing it as well. Like when they're super slow or move quick, then sit still. Shots coming in here from Race. A lot of G36 in play. I like that.
None of this team is having to rotate yet. The circle hasn't fully closed. Alpha 7 did end up moving a little bit more north, kind of freeing the way up for Damwon Kia. Team Falcons now positioning themselves between Alpha 7 and Damwon Kia. Guess what? Damwon Kia now needs to be careful because they might end up getting sandwiched here between Enigma Galaxy and Alpha 7, as Alpha 7 is starting to go a little bit south, seeing if they want to take that compound. It comes down to what the circle is going to do. What are we going to end up getting? Are we going to get a somewhat of an urban? We are.
That maintains a lot of water, which means that the teams that are on the east side, close to the water, can play that uphill. But Peshkova is going to be crucial for this. I could see a few teams, maybe even 3 or 4, trying to just rush that and prioritize having that, because it is quite heavily centered right now. More teams are trying to rush into some better angles. Right now, Enigma Galaxy outside the zone here, 7. It's not looking good for them. They have a far way ahead of them, and they have a few teams that potentially could be gatekeeping. Does Fabian know? I'm not sure. Fabian's just running in the open here. Rove could potentially take some shots, but he's waiting. Fabian could turn. He is inside the zone right now. Shots up. They're 3-2-1ing that one, and Freak and Rauf is able to take down Fabian quickly and disperse of that. Meanwhile, the last 3 players from Damwon Kia, they're going to be rotating into the zone here on the southeast side and try to prioritize that.
They're going to have to be careful. Alpha 7, Mafioso is going to be holding an angle there for his team, and he might be able to spot some of the players there from Damwon Kia. Damwon Kia already losing one of the players from Enigma Galaxy. Great action that we saw there from Enigma Galaxy, waiting for everybody to be on the same page. Now, Star Wars Esports stop getting knocked by S2G. S2G, we talked about this ghillie suit. It's really, really hard to spot. Can he take even more advantage of it, as he was able to knock Top by surprise? Scree getting knocked as well from S2G. This is going to be a full S2G advantage, as they do have the numbers. We saw one of the players also trying to get it one of the angles too. Hamsi, Pika slowing down a little bit. Action there with him too. What a beautiful grenade there. Pika almost getting knocked, and there's going to be another nade going his way. He needs to be careful. Almost 5 HP. The only thing that's currently holding him off.
Molotov's being deployed for Colsey. He has a 303 vest, of course. Being able to get that airdrop really closely early on. That's a nice push here. That's a sweep around the edge for S2G. They could be pushing on that, trying to take down Scry, confirm that one. Meanwhile, see just a few players left. That is it for that. That is super well executed in that situation. Starboard has to back off, and it's just Action now. Together with Pika inside the smoke. Action finds Race. That's important. Action with some more pressure onto the SG guys, helping out Pika. It's unfortunate for Stalwart, down to just 2 players now, not being able to Oh, that's a big situation for them to take that one out. That vehicle could be crucial for them. Call C with the Mark 14, so strong, even up close range. Pika trying to nade that corner 7.
Yeah, these two teams are fighting for so long that I'm wondering if 7Cs is very close by. Are they going to decide to make a push and try to third party this? It was the aggression that I want to see out of 7Cs, but I don't think they're going to be doing it. You can see Hamsi picking up his teammate right there. Action and Pika, though, ultimately being able to hold it off for a very long time for their team. And they're still trying to find some of the other people. I think they have spotted some of the other players there from SGG, hoping that they can get some kind of elimination. We do end up getting a new circle, and it is going to go a little bit towards the northeast. I think this is going to be benefiting in a big way Vampire Esports, Alpha 7, and Bigatron is going to have to decide which way up the road are they going to want to be. Are they going to want to be with Vampire Esports, or are they going to want to be with Alpha 7 as the fight between SCG and Star Wars Esports does continue. Star Wars Esports action currently getting shot from the back by players of SCG. You can see Pika currently laying down Silas. Action goes down to Hamsi. Now Star Wars Esports, Pika trying to figure out what he's going to be doing here, waiting for the right moment. We do start seeing now 7Cs slowly but surely starting to come up. Are they going to want to participate on this? And honestly, if I'm 7Cs at this point, just continue on to the zone. It is too late. You don't want to third party this. Focus on the zone, get to the safe zone. And Rod, meanwhile, they absolutely send it towards the ocean, and great thing they did, because they only ended up just getting one of their players. Now you can see Carrillo currently shooting at Ravenclaw. Is he going to be able to connect? He's not able to get that knockdown. Now
this is a huge play by Alpha 7. Them being able to take that compound. They just saw the circle go north. Nobody was in there, and they pushed that, locked it down. All 4 guys super strong in this situation. Damwon here could potentially take one of the Rod players down. They're trying to defend this off, and that's going to be a dirty fight there on the east side. Meanwhile, Bigatron is coming in on the south side. I think they're going to be fighting Falcon. Yeah, you see right now on screen, Nick McGalaxy just gone down here to Damwon here. Such a good play from him.
Yeah, wonderful grenades, and that's going to help him for that match reward. Don't forget, special eliminations. That's going to be huge, especially with the most special eliminations as well.
Yeah.
Team Falcons just playing it very slow, coming out from a
rough
great
circle
game for
here
them.
With so much water, 7. It's crazy, right?
Indeed. SCG playing it. Now SCG is trying to figure out how are they going to be able to get into this one, and where are they going to end up going, because of that fight that took so long between them and the Star Wars Esports is going to put them at a huge disadvantage. Team Falcons, Yusuf able to spot Sluxy right there, not able to get the knock. Decides to back off a little bit more. And guess what? Sluxy is able to spot Powerful there. He does get some shots. Very, very low. He's going to be throwing the Molotov. Just decides to back him off. Great Molotov from Bigatron right there. Meanwhile, Jamfos relocating himself, trying to get some angles.
Oh, look at that. Falcons push down here on the lower ground. It's going to be hard for Bigatron to defend. Lux is still knocked. Genfos also in a situation where they can't get the res off. Soxy is going to go for Luxy right now, and they have very little time. Falcons going to be pushing up aggressively in this. This is a super good execution by Falcons. Kalsi with the Mark 14 now pushing Genfos. Ooh, a lot of damage coming out here. It's a dangerous gun. 303 as well. Bigatron in the middle of this sandwich.
Falcons just went in patiently. There is some killings that are going to end up going to SG. SG, we saw the aggressiveness from them earlier. They are going to be pushing on Bigatron, and Bigatron is going to get eliminated. Now SG is going to have to switch their focus to Team Falcons, and that's exactly what they're doing, as they're going to be trying to get one of the knocks. Guess what? Damar is able to start the engagement. He ends up getting knocked there on Kalsi, and they're able to trade out somebody too, because Hamsi from SG just went down as well. And Team Falcons, the aggressiveness out of this team is just great. Silas is able to get some knocks. Can he confirm on the other knock? Too powerful, decides to lay it down. Silas with the M4, looking to get those headshots. He's not able to. Powerful, able to remain alive and just go and help out his team. Now they need to worry about how they're going to make this rotation up north towards the circle. Damwon Kia currently swimming.
We saw it yesterday in the other Vikendi, super far northwest circle. Now we have a super far east circle. So much water in play, and it eliminates so many compounds. That's why we have these wild situations where you see so many teams trying to push for the same compound. Third partying so much. Alpha 7 here trying to deny the push from Powerful. Team Falcons trying to just get a foot inside this circle here. But Alpha 7 says no.
Team Falcons just barely being able to maintain themselves alive right there. They do have a lot of the other players that are going to end up rotating, but guess what? Alpha 7 is just not having any of that. They're looking at all the angles. They're trying to find just any of the players from Team Falcons to knock them and eliminate them. That way they can move on and focus on what's ahead, which is going to be Rod, Damwon Kia, and Vampire Esports. But here we go, Never Alone gets to get some of those shots in.
Connects a few onto Rero, but now he has to heal. Ticking slowly down now. He has 5 first aids. A little bit too early on the pop of the first aid. Powerful tries to push, but instantly denied by the UMP by Mafioso. Sadat finds Powerful, though, on the other side. 2 guys here from Rad, Stat and Munir. They are on the edge of the zone inside, but they are going to have to make a move as well. Damwon Kia, 3 players inside the circle. 2 also have Vampire inside that circle here. Next circle has Pop, and you can see here on your screen, top far right minimap, Vampire has just this little compound that they're able to hold on to. Meanwhile, the guys on the south, Alpha 7 and Arad, they are going to have to move in this situation here. Falcons eventually is going to go down to the zone, trying to blue zone heal right now. Good shots coming in from Vampire. They have to deny this push here. Never Alone finds Rero. That's going to delay them, and that's going to be really crucial for their further campaign in this zone here.
It really is. There you go. Never Alone gets eliminated by the place. But Alpha 7, as you mentioned, it just getting hindered by their rotation, and they are going to have to push on Rod here. Is the only way that they... Mythic is going to be able to get the revive right there. And now Damwon Kia, they went from swimming to trying to figure out if they want to push the action a little bit towards Vampire Esports, playing it super, super slow, and this is the right way to play. And we also see Rod, they do have a DPS at hand. Alpha 7 needs to be careful when they get to very, very close range. Yes, they do have those UMP, but I mean, the DPS is just way too powerful when you are that close. Here we go, Carrillo, who's going to be able to see each other first. Rod, Seda, not being able to get at least one of the knocks there. Can he get another of the knocks? He does end up getting a finish there on Mythic. Seda by himself ends up getting knocked down by one of the Revo nades, and now he comes down to Munir. Can Munir get any of this? No, he's not. Rod is going to get eliminated by Alpha 7. Alpha 7 ends up losing Mythic to the DBS. Vampire Esports Stone making their way a little bit closer towards Alpha 7. That's a great, great strategy there. They know that they currently have the advantage. Ravenclaw and Stone, they're going to lay down some of the nades, some of the Molotovs as well, trying to control where Alpha 7 is going to be rotating. The MG3 is so deadly up close. Here comes the shots. He ends up missing some of the shots. Now Alpha 7 does have all of their players up. Revo trying to heal off. Who's going to win this engagement? Vampire Esports, I think at this point, just decides to back up a little bit more. And they need to be careful because the zone is not going to be on them. The zone is going to be on Damwon Kia. Juni currently actually getting knocked and eliminated by stops from Vampire Esports. And meanwhile, Alpha 7 just being able to rotate, thankfully, to that Rich that is right there for him.
Yeah, it's a really bold push here from Vampire. I like the strategy, trying to push out and finish that, take advantage of that situation with Alpha 7 having a few knock players. More shots coming into Mafioso. There's 2 stops, nearly being able to knock him. The zone is still in play here, and Alpha 7 is able to traverse this super hard and rough terrain ahead of them, while Damwon Kia is holding that rock lower ground. Shots are coming in. Carrillo finds Ravenclaw. That's huge.
That is going to be huge. Can he get that elimination as well? Vampire Esports now in the defense. They're only going to have 2 players. They are in the zone, and they're going to have to be careful between Alpha 7 and then Mafioso playing very risky there with that jump. I thought he might have ended up sliding all the way down. That would have been just absolutely unfortunate. Damwon Kia playing it slow, and I wonder if Alpha 7 is going to be able to stop this revive here. Vampire Esports just might be able to pick up their player.
This next zone here did go super hard towards Vampire. Oh my god, Stone finds Carrillo as well. This is going to delay them. That's rough. The question is, are they going to be able to swing over and get him? The only way for any of the teams, either Damwon Kia and Alpha 7, to win this is just to smoke the entire wall so they can push that. Otherwise, it's going to be really rough. The question is, does Song and Forest try to focus on third party or being the last team, or try to just rock with the zone, or what are their thoughts here? I really want to see some offensive smoke around that edge there on that wall that Ravenclaw and Stone is holding. That's really, really important for Alpha 7 to try to make that push. Forest has a car. The question is, how long is Damwon Kia going to wait until they try to push the Vampire compound or try to third party Alpha 7?
And with the terrain here that Damwon Kia has, it might actually end up working out.
Ooh.
I don't think Mafioso would want to get up and take some shots there on that vehicle. And one of the other things that they need to be careful with Vampire Esports is if Damwon Kia does decide to make that push with the vehicle, they need to be careful, because if Stops decides to shoot at that car, Mafioso is going to be able to counter stand up and see if they can get some kind of knock with that. Revo, Carrillo just playing it super, super slow right now, which is the right thing to do. You can see Vampire Esports was able to pick up one of their teammates. They are at full 3 now, 3-3-2. Then one Kia is going to end up making this push. They are in the vehicle. They do have some smokes out. And the DBS ready. This is what we were hoping for. Then one Kia, what's going to happen here? Who's going to be winning this? They also have a DBS for Vampire Esports. Oh. He ends up getting knocked. This is the opening that Alpha 7 needed here, and that's exactly what they're going to be doing now. They need to be careful. Ravenclaw does have an angle on them. He is able to knock Rio. Can he knock down Revo as well? Revo decides to lay it down. This is a huge 1v1. Revo is going to end up getting knocked too. I think it's going to end up coming down to Mafioso. Great players. He does end up securing a point right there for Alpha 7. Mafioso with the UMP making a push. It's too much. Vampire Esports, ladies and gentlemen, being able to win Big Candy. Great performance for them. Great positioning, honestly, from that team. And this is a team that always is able to hold down their composure if one of their teammates is down. Guess what? They showed it here. They waited for the right moment. They made sure they address any of the teams that was pushing towards them. Vampire Esports making a huge statement there with that Big Candy win.
Yeah, exactly. Vampire here, our PMWI main event winners, able to win another game here in the after party showdown. That's crazy to see these guys able to close this one out here. It's a rough push, but that MG3 ended up paying off quite nicely. Damwon Kia actually opened it up a little bit for them. And I actually expected Alpha 7 to be able to capitalize a little bit more, but they were so quick in the rest.
Yep. And I think Alpha 7 just didn't have any smoke grenades or anything going their way. I think they threw in so many earlier. That utility was absolutely gone for Alpha 7. It ended up hindering them. Vampire Esports just did too much. And then one key, I mean, they had the right idea, but they were not expecting somebody else from Vampire Esports to also have a DBS and just be patiently waiting for them.
Yeah, exactly. And now with that, we're actually going to be halfway through the after party showdown, which is super insane because that means that another good performance here for Alpha 7 means that they're going to be really far ahead on the leaderboard. Question is, how much is Vampire going to be able to catch up and how deep are they going to be able to go?
Yeah, I think with Vampire Esports, hopefully this is a great momentum carrier for that team, right? And with Alpha 7, for them to not even get the chicken dinner, but at least be able to get that second place and get some LMs while you're at it, those are going to be some great points for them too.
Yeah, and this campaign so far, and also I love Vikendi here. It's great to see another rough circle, though, super far east. But we are ready here with the match ranking sponsored by SCC and our desk that's going to be looking at how far the teams are going to be able to take it for the rest of the day.
How far the teams are going to take it. Alpha 7 getting very close to winning that match, capitalizing off of the fight between Vampire and Damwon Kia, but unfortunately forgot about one player. And Vampire is able to close things out and get themselves 20 points. However, Alpha 7 able to still build up a lead against quite a few others. We got Maxman and Kalarisman on the end to talk about this last match. And I guess we can start things off talking about how we had another rough zone going far east instead of north this time.
We're not going to get a normal Vikendi game, I have the impression. No, the first time I'm seeing Vikendi back in competitive, and I feel like I'm robbed in some way. But it's still working out great.
Rob your eyebrows at this rate.
I mean, you know what? I was supporting Falcons a lot more than I usually do this game.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like, okay, Falcons, please get a little bit further. I want to hold on to my eyebrows, but Vampire, really, the fact also, we're talking about it with Blank in the green room. The fact that they rezzed Ravenclaw and kept him on that angle behind the crate was really what allowed them to get those 2 knocks onto Alpha 7 and what enabled them afterwards to get the win.
Also scary that he had an MG3 behind that crate too, which he had not from that crate, but from a prior crate. So
most crates?
Yeah, maybe most
gentlemen.
Crates.
Rod got money. First team white.
They did.
$5,000 bucks.
I remember that. Yes. We're happy for that. But yeah, the MG3, high fire rate.
Back to the main story.
Scary to kind of make a transition against, especially when it comes to that. But I will say Alpha 7, the timing at which they did the transition was good. As much as it looked hard and as much as they did get gunned down, it was still a good push. You try and push when those knocks have come in. You know that fight's not completely kind of been recovered from against Damwon Kia. It's the good time to move, even though it's a hard move to make.
I believe there were 2 teams that had the same idea as them. I think it was BTR and Rad, if I'm not mistaken. And the fact is that Alpha 7 are so quick on their feet when they have an IGL call out. They just instantly act upon it. They're super snappy. Other teams are a little bit slow, and Alpha 7, that allows them to get to those positions early and alone.
It's exemplified by just how consistent we've seen Damwon Kia and Alpha 7 here be every single game. And again, this is again, on a Vikendi, not an easy circle to deal with. The fact that we've seen 2 coastal circles on Vikendi is such an anomaly. Normally you have these kind of central circles with these compounds, not castle, but the coasts, very kind of uncharted territory for some of these teams, I would say.
Well, we did get to see, though, quite a few teams capitalize off that moment, right? We saw it go Eastern. I think it was around like zone 5 or 6, and we saw Alpha 7 immediately push in towards that zone, take a compound. Vampire do the exact same thing. Damwon went for a little bit.
Had a good position potentially on that sort of Nufka Island finish, right? They didn't act upon it. They didn't take that position. I think they learned from that previous mistake in this game. They scouted a really good spot that was in the circle on the coastal sign, instantly take it for themselves. So I think definitely there's an improvement on Vampire that enabled them to get this win.
There's decisive moves that are going on here in some of these games. And again, to bring it back to Alpha 7 once again, an extremely decisive move for them to kind of move up on this kind of east side beach location, not beach location, the cliffside location, take some of these priority compounds and just play from them. It's not like they're sending one forwards. We saw the example of BTR sending Zuxi forwards as a scout, not having full information, but by the time he gets there, Alpha 7 is sent as a foreman. Very decisive play to take the compound that he would have arguably wanted for BTR, but they're not as swift.
I mean, the thing about Alpha 7 is, and I realize, yes, it's just Carrillo left over from that Loops roster, was that even back then, we've seen Carrillo and Loops just be very decisive in their decisions. When they make a call, they all go for it. When they smell blood, they go straight to attack like a shark in the water. And they did it right there. But you know, it didn't get them the win. It still got them some good points. Obviously, as we did get to see, I think about 10 for themselves. So they're still trying to live in that lead. But Vampire Esports, they're one of those teams trying to claw their way forward a little bit more, whether it is based off of money or obviously based off of placements. And I want to check out their player stats in this last match to see if anyone really stood out. And I mean, Stoned or Mike in game, or I don't know. They actually changed it back to Stoned, I guess, here on our sheets.
He's officially Stoned here on ours, yes.
That is good.
Yes.
610 damage.
Yeah, he's been definitely doing some really big work for his team this game this time around. It's really interesting because it is a completely different duo from the duo show match. Like Stone, I think. I expected actually Stone to be in the duo show matches. I don't know what you think, Kalaris, but he's not there actually. It's Ravenclaw and is it Schweppes? I'm not sure. It stops. I'm not sure.
Maybe. I mean, he's definitely a standout player, right? Like, so that's what you're trying to get at here. He's definitely a standout player. We saw it in the main tournament. We're seeing it here once again. And so you're able to put him in a position where it's very, very impressive.
Yeah, very impressive indeed. I really enjoyed how they were able to speed up the process of this game. But hyped to see if they could try and replicate it, right? A lot of teams have been on that high, like Damwon, like also the likes of Alpha 7. If you can replicate and remain consistent throughout today and also tomorrow, hey, you never know. Vampire could be in that top 3 contesting for the top spot.
Needed a drink there, sorry.
It's going to take a big day, to be fair. But again, it depends on what you're going for. Either placements or you're going for the rewards you can get within the match. Let's take actually a look at the match rewards and see what teams got what. We're going to see a certain team in there that we're going to be extremely happy about. My boys.
It's Rod!
7K from that match alone. That actually probably takes them higher than some of the teams.
We were musing about it in the back, right? Like, this style of tournament and everything like that, and as kind of time's gone on and they really haven't got much money under their belt, they're making adaptations to try and push a bit more aggressively, get themselves those first eliminations, first team elimination. You can see it very decisively here in this game. So good for them. I love it.
I expect a lot of Damwon on the second page. Like seeing that 4 nade elimination on the side of Nigma.
Overall special elims.
Yeah.
Oh, what a surprise.
What a surprise, of course. Like, the nades play with the same. But hey, seeing a lot more money. Also, 20K game coming away of Vampire. Like, the teams that win tend to, like, take not only just the chicken dinner, right? They get those big elimination games, most eliminations, team wipes also. So, like, it just all comes together in, like, one neat package. If you just get the win, you get the points, and it just goes together.
Some of these top teams are not sharing the wins either. We have had very few chicken dinner winners over this day and a half so far. So, the top teams are shining, definitely.
They are, and they're getting more used to the phone. And speaking of the phone, the Sony Xperia 1 Forward made in collaboration with professional players to make sure you can edge up your game and become a pro one day. It's actually the official smartphone partner here at PUBG Mobile. In the meantime, though, we're going to head to a quick little break. You can see towards this side, 6 minutes left to go until we head into our next match of the day. But you guys have seen these little basketball challenges we've had. Now, some of you out there might not know what basketball is or how the challenge works. Well, luckily for you, we have an explainer to break it down for you.
So you're probably wondering why the players are playing this game of basketball, this fantastic game. All right, so here's the breakdown. 45 seconds is all you got to get as many goals as possible. You have 6 balls, 5 on the reserve, and 1 right here on the launcher. You gotta shoot the ball into the net. It's not as easy as it looks, but you keep going until you run out of time. If the ball bounces and goes in, it doesn't count. If the ball bounces off the backboard and goes in, of course it counts. The thing is, this game here right here, it's not just for fun, it's also for money. The winner at the end of GAMERS8 gets $1,000. So you better buckle up because this game is about to get heated.
I bet Mads thought that actually went in towards the end, and hopefully everyone cheered like it did. Like you've seen on probably some of those videos on the internet. So that's how it works. $1,000 on the line across all the games, though. I believe it's not just here for PUBG Mobile. We did have one good representative. Who was it again? He was from Stalwart.
Senator.
Senator, yeah.
He got like 7? 6?
Yeah.
As he moved it exactly right next to the basket.
See, but I didn't hear any stipulation about the goal has to be standing up.
What are you wanting here?
Or be on the table. Maybe you can move it, so you can just hit it and then try to catch it with the
You can't
basketball
move
hoop.
the post. You can move around like where you're shooting from, yeah. It has to be on the table.
But can you move the basket?
I'm going to be honest, though. I am really glad we got an explainer on how basketball works. Phew. If I hadn't have had that, to be fair, there were a few more stipulations than that. But, you know, get it in the basket. Woo. Anyway.
I think that counts for quite a few different sports, to be fair.
Sports
but Alpha 7, 111 points, $60,000 for themselves. Team Falcons currently sitting in second place with 42K. But look at S2G, 50K. I mean, I feel kind of bad for Bigatron, though, the only team on the front page here without breaking $10,000.
Yeah, I mean, they've been getting close time and time again. They still are not able to get themselves that chicken dinner, right? That's the big outlier. That's really the big thing that's going to allow them to set themselves apart from the rest of these teams. But yeah, if you don't get the win, like $10,000 per win, that is massive. And of course, as you said already, a lot of teams don't want to share that chicken dinner.
What is it all about? It's about the land of extremes here, Max.
Yes.
Yes. Quite.
Let's hear it, Max.
Extreme!
Okay. Yeah.
I love how he commits to it.
Oh, yeah.
Well.
That's the thing I love about Max.
Yeah.
He commits to everything, just like he's going to commit to shaving off his eyebrows if Team Falcons don't get a second.
I like how he also tried to defend himself earlier. He was like, I'm rooting for Falcons because then I'll have to shave off my eyebrows. He never agreed. We agreed. And he all of a sudden it's just like
pressure
syndrome.
Peer pressure, I don't know.
He's just captured.
We have more than enough talent here to hold him down and make sure that's a possibility.
He empathizes with the captors.
You can see around here, though, 7K from that last game. I mean, to not even win the match, but to get $7,000 for that is fantastic. I mean, I'd be extremely happy about that. Let's see if they can acquire some more money. But you have R8 only down to 2, unfortunately.
Yeah, that hurts a little bit. Like, R8 have been a little bit transparent a lot of the time. They still get themselves, like, pretty close to the end game, but they don't get that first elimination. They don't get the first squad wipe, and then they just don't tend to like speed up the process. They don't aim for anything in the game, right? So they just don't get any rewards. So just like we saw with Rad, maybe they're going to try and bring a change to the table, but it hasn't just happened yet.
Yeah, they're not as decisive about their movements and stuff like that. And it's a little bit of a shame because, again, we've looked at this team before. It's kind of the rebranding of Rico Infinity. The 2 guys from Rico Infinity, the 2 guys from previous Alloys. It kind of meshes together. It's a great roster, but it's not coming together here right now just yet.
Yeah, it's unfortunate it's not coming together just yet, but there's still time. We're not done just yet. We still got matches.
Right.
I think we're only... Yeah. Did Mickey Mouse just join us here on
the show?
Yeah,
there's time.
Woohoo! Let's take a look at the match rewards rankings, though, to see which teams will be sitting in first. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Alpha 7. There we go, 60K for themselves. But S2G, 50K. I mean, again, this is a lot of money to win, only being halfway through the whole event so far.
Yeah, this is the most money you could ever win in PUBG Mobile esports history in a single game of PUBG Mobile. Like, it's clear that now that's what the teams are aiming for. So, yeah, of course, Alpha 7, S2G, they're all running away with the money, was down one also. But so there's still a chance that some contenders could rise up on the last day and make a pretty decent amount.
I think we're trying to make some other teams outside of China be able to equate to how much Nova have won over the course of their history.
It'll take a while.
Some team catch up. You can see our second page that was around things out. I mean, it does fall down to obviously 2K, but still some decent money being won from all these teams. And there's still more money to be won as we have the next map coming up, Karakin, in just a minute's of time. But before we can hop into that, we got to talk about MasterCard as one of the sponsors of this event, as well as the Saudi Investment Bank, making sure we can have this event happen for all of the viewers and obviously all the teams as well. But we do have more challenges for you guys. We need to take a screenshot of the best PMWI moments from, well, and post them on YouTube or Instagram and tag hashtag PMWI best shot, and you can win some cool PUBG Mobile statues. So if you guys want some more information on how you can do that, make sure you head over to the PUBG Mobile Instagram to check it out. Also, we still have the survey. We'd like to hear what you guys have to say about the show, about the commentators, about the talent, about the players, about the format, everything you could possibly want to give feedback to. Make sure you guys head over there, and you can check that out over on Tencent's social media. But as the sound comes on, the music comes through, Karrakin is 10 seconds away with our commentators, John Allen and Blank.
It's eking ever closer, Blank. Game 4 of today of the Afterparty Showdown. As Avenger said at the end of the last game, we are past that halfway mark now. It's only going to get all the more tough from here on in.
Absolutely, and these teams, they need to get a cracking on with getting these points on board during these matches. Trying to earn themselves a little bit more money, a little bit more of those in-game rewards for themselves. Drops around the coastal side. We'll be able to loot up a little bit. We saw some cheeky stuff yesterday with teams heading directly into the tunnels and kind of snaking out towards the end. But you're not earning the big points like the most eliminations over here from Revo as well as Carrillo. 5 ahead of the 3rd place of Never Alone there with 14. But already we're getting a little bit of a hot drop going on across the map.
Seems like there's 2 groups of teams right now over on the north side. I think S2G rerouted away from that 7C BTR engagement on the north side. As we do hop on in on the east side as well, you've got R8 and Rod seemingly quite close to each other. Enigma Galaxy split around the Deadeyes guys as well, maybe looking to get inside those tunnels. At the moment, looks like R8 might be looking for the first elimination. Get a little bit more money on the cards. I mean, they were set at the bottom here, and look at that, 2K. They've doubled their earnings so far, and if they keep going, they might be able to get that 7K total from that first team elimination.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy there. Just picking up a lot of money off the back of it, but already it's Deadeyes guys and Enigma Galaxy who are also taking a fight on. You can see on your screens right now, Chari, who's been fairly fantastic for Deadeyes guys during the Afterparty Showdown. Starts things off strong for them, but look at that, it's popping off all over the place. We can barely keep up with it.
Okay, BTR pushing in, DBS in hand for the forefront, nicely done. Off angle for Genforce as well, BTR moving through well right now. 7C, not really getting too much to hold off. Spray God needs to hold the stairway, gets one, but traded off. Beautiful result for Liquid, as he can now start up that res, getting that flush as well. The team elimination came through from Stalwart in the meantime. Plenty of fights going on across the map, but Bigatron still on this push.
One of the big hitters in S2G already going down. Zuxi, though, just surrounding them. Molotovs that sent through. Try and stop the push, but Genforce has got a pretty good idea where this player is. Underneath. Now we'll relay that information back. Aladdin's in a tough spot. Will drop the shot, though. And that'll be him out, but immediately there's a refrag there. BTR are with it this game.
Greedy, greedy, greedy there. Aladdin succumbs. And will get traded off. Sarang, though, last player standing for 7C. Door shut in his face. Maybe looking for this res, but out comes Zuxi. It's taken care of. Not quite good for the second. Liquid is going to be able to clutch this one. Now all 4 of BTR stay alive.
Quickly get the reses back on board, but it's Stalwart 4 eliminations and BTR with the same. So 2 team eliminations there. Stalwarts will still hold the most team eliminations title for the current time. Considering it's based on time, whoever gets it first will hold on to that little place on the podium right at the top. Vampire Esports trying to bring things back. Had a great game there on Vikendi. Some really interesting plays that they pulled through. I think Schweppes jumping into the water. You know, as an info play, it was good, but I think he took things a little bit too far. Even so, Stone and the rest of the team were able to back him up and take that victory home for them. But now it's Stalwart versus Vampire Esports, hoping to get a little bit of revenge for what happened in the PMWI. I think everyone was thinking that Stalwart was going to really be right at the top in terms of the standings, but Vampire Esports came out of nowhere and just continued blasting in that tournament.
I'm not too sure what happened to S2G there. Did they go down first? I thought they'd managed to get the first team elimination, but I think I was mistaken on that.
No, they were the first team elimination.
Oh, well, that's the opposite.
Felled by Stalwart.
Ah, okay, right, okay. That's fair enough. To be fair, S2G, have had a lot of money so far. I think they were at 50K at the start of this game.
Yeah.
They are doing absolutely fine for themselves. So, you know, spread the wealth. Share
exactly. Also, you know what they say, sharing is caring. Like so all these teams hoping to take home a little bit of brass by the end of it. Should be very nice to add to their totals, especially the teams that did qualify directly from the PMWI, our top 5 from there. And it is BTR who starts this game off very strong, but it's Stalwart who have remained consistent, I would say, throughout both tournaments. They're still yet to be at the top, and with the current streak that Alpha 7's on right now, this team is looking good, but Stoned, as I say that, will knock one of the players from Stalwart. Very, very long shot, though, so unlikely they'll be able to flush that.
Action seemingly the one to move. Top on the far side. Very, very resible there. Will just slow them down on the northwestern side. The circle really not posing a threat to anyone right now. Alpha 7, no one really in front of them at this stage. Should be pretty much a vibe. Rad, with only one player left, though, potentially getting pushed on. Was that another knock onto Action? That was the guy going for the res onto top. Now Scry has to reposition. Pika's there left. The last person trying to suppress this angle. Excellent hold from Vampire Esports.
Deja vu. I think I've been in this place before. Scry tries to head up to get the rest, but Stone's having absolutely none of it. Take some shots. And at this point in time, you're kind of calling back to the boys saying, I think it's not likely they're able to scale up to the top side there. And, you know, even though they're so clearly in range, Stoned is just got some insane oversight.
Pika needs to suppress the straight line, but with only the red dot, that's going to be hard shots to hit. Apparently, not that hard though for Pika. Already nailing one over towards Schweppes. Going to have to backing up, get that heal off. Top flushed, Action flushed. They are going to go down. Vampire Esports add 2 to the tally.
Yeah, Pika tries to jiggle it out there, but I think with the punishment that Scry suffered before, he wasn't likely to go for it again. But Ravenclaw, you saw him before in that fight, making the long run to a big off angle. Did in the last game of Kendi, slightly less of an off angle there, but this...
Incredible. Really, really solid. I think this is a suppressor on the front of the rifle as well, which is going to mean it would be a little bit harder to figure out exactly where that's coming from. Although these teams will have their wits about them. They'll certainly know a general direction.
Now for 7. Also taking shots down towards Deadeye's guys. I think for all these games, they are the ones not to be messed with here. In the Afterparty Showdown, look to rack up even more cash for themselves. You know, we may say sharing is caring, but it does feel like Alpha 7 would like the lion's share to themselves. Sure, they might hand out a couple of freebies, but for the most part, it's theirs.
Handing out plenty of L's, though, for a couple of these teams. Deadeye's guys take one themselves. Alpha 7, though, they did lose Revo in the process. Vampire, in the meantime, on the western side of this next circle, looking to take care of Stalwart, and that will be the end of them. Vampire Esports pick up a team elimination. They are looking to get a little bit more. Bigatron at their western side might prove to be tricky if they don't know they're there, but they should be able to scout this one. It looks like Bigatron know this position's going through. Is this the exact situation that Stalwart were in against Vampire Esports? Let's see if the tune has changed.
You do like the Vampire Esports essentially, and now taking up the exact same position. BTR are going to take up Vampire's spot, and again, it really is deja vu today. I feel like maybe I'm going slightly insane. We'll see if BTR can do the same efficient work towards them, but there are shots sent back. Flukath will be knocked by Zuxi, though.
No answering knocks as well, and now, I mean, how does this keep happening? You'd have thought that something would have figured out. 2 smokes bloomed. They are a lot closer together than Stalwart were, which means that these reses potentially a little bit better. They also don't have the massive Ravenclaw off angle that was available to Vampire Esports to stop those reses earlier.
Yeah,
which means that these reses potentially a
around as fast as possible on the swivel. I hope he's, you know, greased up the soles on those shoes so he can be swiftly sliding from left to right, because he will need to in that smoke. And now even Alpha 7 are taking a chunk out of them. Goodness me, Vampire Esports, you should have known that spot was bad when you took apart Stalwart the way you did.
Need to figure out how to escape from this area, right?
Yeah.
You need to disengage from this engagement. it is not going well right now. Unless they can get a pick or two, and if you're going to land that spray, it could be good. Swept, oh, gets to cover, just about, has to put the rifle away, and hit the decks, try and get some healing done. Alpha 7 not going to spot it just yet. They see Stone instead. Just dancing around. This guy, happy feet.
Yeah, and I mean, I said that he'd put grease on the soles, but looks like, you know, he switched out the trainers completely for a pair of some ice skates there. So he is really, really making it happen. There's not much ice on this map to be, you know, skating around on, but he makes it look good either way.
I feel like ice skates would potentially be the worst shoe for this sort of terrain.
There's real good grip.
There's no.
Yeah.
That's the entire purpose.
They'll go straight into the sand. He's not going anywhere. He could really plant his feet. It's like having nails on your feet.
And that's what you don't want, surely.
It's like the poor man's crampon.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I feel like ice skates are quite expensive.
Yeah, but if you got nothing else.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. Maybe put a pair on your hands, then you're like...
Yeah, then you're really going for it at that point.
Get up the side of the cliffs. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to handle a weapon.
Yeah, I'll test that. If you don't hear from me, can you please ring a helicopter?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll get right on that, certainly. Looks like Vampire Esports have moved a little bit further into their position at this time. Nigma Galaxy not really taking shots. Alpha 7 slowed that engagement with them. Bigatron on the northern side, potentially looking to try and change the path of history and not push onto Vampire's position and take up that spot. Not just yet, anyway. Could change.
It could change. I mean, Zuxi's taking that off angle right now. You can see it. Vampire Esports, they've managed to get themselves a good lineup. But the next circle about to pop in does head over towards the east side. Falcon's going to be extremely happy with this one, especially considering, you know, they've held this spot for a very long time in this game. They've not had to move. It's one of the main compounds. Should be very nice and looted. They'll have to be running around like Vampire Esports, searching the bodies for the medical equipment. Nigma Galaxy in front of Vampire Esports, you know, they've been harassed by Alpha 7 before, but were able to, you know, get out of dodge fairly quickly. Now Zuxi, this is that off angle we were talking about before, but it's very important that he doesn't go down. Also, dropping the suppressor on board, very important piece of equipment, considering you are on the off angle away from your team. You cannot give away your positioning.
First airdrop was collected, R8, SK10, which does mean, of course, blank. That's some more money for R8. Beautiful stuff. They got first elimination coming on through. First team elimination, not so lucky, but that's 3K so far that they've earned. Starting on 2K, you will definitely take that.
It's going well. If you want to continue to stay up to date with all the money these guys are able to put in the back pocket, you can join in for the PMWI Watch Together. So you can watch together with us in-game over at the Esports Center with your friends to win some PMWI special sets.
And if you want the gun skins and the outfits from the PMWI, there are PMWI packages on sale for a limited time. You can also win PMWI treasure crates if you play PUBG Mobile during PMWI.
It's always worth it to crack out the phone and get a little bit of PUBG Mobile done on the fly, perhaps in between, on the breaks. Though the guys on the desk, they are very interesting. Drop some good knowledge, some good jokes. Can't go wrong with that.
Well,
there's some good ones.
Good jokes. There's some good jokes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some good jokes. Yeah, that's right. Some of them are awful. Horrible jokes.
Did like the explainer. Sometimes you do need an explainer, though, for the desk when it comes to playing basketball. Some interesting tidbits that I'll bring out next game.
I mean, we are all massive nerds here in the broadcast team. So that, I think it's fair enough to try and explain any sort of sporting reference.
I have basketball facts. They're coming up. So you have to wait for the next game to hear about them. So stay tuned here for the Afterparty Showdown.
Oh, I'm excited now. Maybe I'll find out what basketball is. Who is a Kobe?
That's right. Who knows? Very, very famous, though.
Vampire
I think
Esports.
You should know.
That's fair. Vampire Esports quite close to Nigma Galaxy right now. They're down to 2 players as well. Alpha 7, they're in a spot of bother of their own. Bigatron going toe-to-toe with the Titans of this tournament so far. It looks like at the moment Alpha 7 suffering a little bit as Bigatron try and push through, but the blue zone is going to put pressure on this fight. Mafioso down close to Bigatron's line as they move forwards. Not really going to be able to do too much to save this one. What can the rest of the squad do? As Vampire pepper the back, Freak 2-4. Nigma Galaxy holding that out. Zuxi descends from the hillside. Teammates starting to drop, starting to fall. Carrillo and Mythic, 2 players alive for Alpha 7. 2 players still in action for Bigatron, as it is Liquid to go down.
Mesuri trying to push around the side with the UMP in hand. It's not anything yet, but it does force Alpha 7 into an unlucky engagement. But there are shots along the way from Schweppes. And that'll shut down BTR, but now Alpha 7 suffering from the same angle.
Neither of these teams can go for this engagement under the purview of Schweppes. They have to disengage. Zuxi has to heal, and they can't push onto this position. The only option is to push right around this rock and try and engage that way if you don't want to be spotted out there. And that's a really difficult run to make. Both of Alpha 7 now have their sights set on Zuxi. Nades, C4 being thrown on out, and they're trying to put the fear of God into Zuxi.
Yeah, well, I mean, he has to wait a while to get out, and they're just continuing to send utility in. You can see Mythic with one in hand does have a slight rock along his side, so he can play these aggressive angles, and Zuxi just has to bide his time a little bit here. Molotov 2.
With Schweppes going down, that sightline is suddenly freed up for just a little bit. Hopefully, be able to leverage that to move on forwards for Bigatron. Deadeyes, guys. Super close to Carrillo right now. Shots from outside in the blue. Nade, Molotov trying to find a small opening, anything that you can to push on forwards. Turu loves another Molotov. Another bit of pressure. As Carrillo got to get pushed by this blue zone as well. Wants to finish out the threat from the back. Do not want to be harried, but around the side, health bar dwindling. Goes to the shot. It's not going to happen. Set back.
Carrillo dealing with that on the side of the circle there, right on the edge, and somehow Alpha 7 still making it through. You see D77 though off in the distance. Just dropping the first aid kit in. But Carrillo still has this on lock. Slowly taking out players, but it's Zuxi. Spots him out first. And he's managed to make his way in. The sticky bombs, they were not enough to stop Zuxi. This guy has been on tears before, and he doesn't likely stop anytime soon. Mythic jumping his way into the circle, but D77, that angle that maybe they'd not found out before, sends in the spray, but absolutely whiffs every single shot.
How does he get that 180? How does he survive? And now out of the blue zone, he can turn his attention to that ridge line. Needs some crucial shots here to land and makes it work. What a turnaround for Mythic. But he's last player standing now for Alpha 7 into this engagement. Nigma Galaxy versus the last remaining player from Rod.
It's not over yet for Mythic, though. And with D77 painting a rainbow, Mythic makes the long run across, and no one spotted him, nor stopped him.
Zuxi's still going as well. But Falcons, I mean, they dominate the zone right now. It's really a question of who comes second in my mind at this stage. Rod eliminated. Freak, now the last player. Only 4 other players in this lobby, other than Team Falcons. It's 4v1, v1, v1, v1.
You got a lot of snakes here. Time to team together, take down Falcon, but already they're picking them off one by one.
Mythic and Freak still playing. Around the side, dueling it out. M249 is just too much to handle. Mythic falls. Nigma Galaxy stay alive. 3 teams now remain.
Zuxi's chilling. He's looking for that second place. He wants to bump up those points. Currently in 6th, you know, it's not a bad idea when 6 are limbs on his side as well. Good stuff from him. So that's 6 points total. I mean, you can't turn your nose up at that.
Certainly can't. Freak. The M249. Again, trying to push forwards. Really low on meds. No boosters. That health bar is only going to get topped up by the bandages. Zuxi, on the other hand, has a little bit more. Panzer, potentially? No, not going to be seeing it here. Freak eliminated. Now, just Bigatron. 1 versus 4 for Zuxi. I mean, is it going to happen? I don't think so.
It's a cheeky heel off. Now I just want to see Yusuf send that rocket flying.
Let's go.
And just, you see if he can hit him. I don't think he will, but Falcons, with the position, they started here, it's ended here. It's a nice win for them, and they'll take the 10K either way.
if they don't get this elimination, I feel like Bigatron Red Aliens might get most eliminations. If it goes down to the blue zone, potential for them to be pipped to the post. I mean, they'll take the 10K for the chicken dinner, sure, but... Oh, Panzerfaust potentially spotting it. Yusuf, he's on the broadside. I think Zuxy's seen it.
Let's send it in. I like the Never Alones there doing the same emote than what they did in their team parade. Send out.
It's true.
Yeah, it's nice stuff. You know, cosplaying as yourself in-game. That emote was created for Team Falcons, in fact.
Hells yeah. No more. Only one more first stage. Sorry, I take that back. I apologize. He spotted Damar. He's got to. He's got to have done, right? And now he's going to lie down. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, he's not getting back in. Sticky bomb on the floor. Time to go. See you later, boys.
Boom, boom.
What an ending.
Team Falcons take the chicken dinner on Karakin. Excellent way to earn yourself 10K. You do like those. You do like those.
Yeah, dominant win as well. They didn't really have to do too much on that Northwest edge because, you know, it was all popping off over there. Team Falcons just kept it nice and chill over on that Northeast edge. They wait for the rest of the teams to come over towards them, and that was the end of them.
I mean, absolutely. I think this might be the first time, potentially, that we see the non-chicken dinner team not the chicken dinner team not getting most eliminations in the game as well.
They didn't have to do. They just waited it out. You know, they played it safe. You know, even had one player there with the Panzerfaust in hand. It's good stuff. They were real chill that game, and the Falcons, they'll take that 10K home. But a few other teams managed to get there towards the top.
Absolutely did. We'll have to see how that all falls after the break.
Team Falcons, the eyebrow saviors of Karakin, have once again striked, getting their second chicken dinner on the day and another $10,000 at a minimum on the board. Kalaris, you called it, the profit, saying that Team Falcons are going to get themselves a second chicken dinner on the day, or we shave Max's eyebrows. Will they get a third?
No, we're not doing this again. One was enough.
I love how he got ahead of it.
Yeah, he did.
That was impressive. I was in a rough position because I am the blesser. You know, I normally call things quite well, but I really didn't want them to win, considering there was the opportunity of a lifetime. But anyway, they get themselves the victory. They really didn't have to do much for it here. Karakin's a bit of an odd battleground, I think, to say the least when it comes to this, but they do get themselves the victory. 15 points go their way.
Yeah, our match rankings by STC here showing that they dominated the board here. But to be fair, Bigatron Red Aliens able to at least heal out, get 6 limbs, get 12 points, Max.
But still not a BTR win, so we're still not able to see it this time around. And they committed to the heal off
hashtag,
very early.
Right? Hashtag BTR almost win.
Oh, yeah, I think it's a bit long.
Doesn't roll off the tongue.
I know social media. I don't think it would hit the mark too well, but it's a good attempt. But
wait.
Oh.
Hashtag 2022 BTR almost win.
Hashtag BTR too soon.
Oh.
I think I could do.
Yeah. That is why you're the social media master. Let's take a look at some of our highlights, though, brought to you by Sony, and kind of recap what did happen in this one. Obviously, a lot of teams fighting it out. I actually really liked how we had a 4v1v1v1v1 at the end, which is, if you're a team looking for money, that's a lot of potential tasty morsels to pick off.
Yeah, a lot of potential squad wipes, because squad wipe is when you eliminate the last player of a team. There was a lot of solos there, so you could have got, like, what, 3, 4 extra squad wipes in the last few seconds. That could have been huge for Falcons. We'll see if they actually won it right there, but in terms of action, you know, a lot of teams trying to go and fight for those high ground positions, and Falcons, of course, had the high ground position at the end. They got the information. Teams pushing their way. Not much you can really do.
I was really keen for them to try and even just peek over and see where they were. Maybe they could have got that Panzerfaust off, maybe a cheeky shot, but you know what? It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Can you give us a more extreme version of that sound effect, Max?
Boom!
Okay. He really does commit.
One thing, yeah.
I don't know why you keep testing me. I don't know.
I like this. That's why I know. If for sure Falcons didn't get a second chicken dinner today, you would have for sure shaved your eyebrows.
Maybe not. Maybe I would have done like the hair, but eyebrows, I don't want to. I don't know, because I've never done it. I don't know if they'll regrow. I don't want to stay like that
they
forever.
Take a long time. They take
regrow.
a long time to regrow.
Exactly, that's what
Don't do it.
Thank you.
I can see
I'm
by
not
the end of
speaking from
PMGC.
experience at all.
Well, we can see our rewards here. We do have, well, it's Stalwart Esports. I feel like we haven't been able to talk about them much today, to be fair.
Yeah.
They got themselves in a rough spot here in this game. I mean, they took high ground kind of expecting to be able to control it, but they had a few just shots coming in from, I think Vampires actually was one of the teams that was dealing with it. There was a funny moment where I think it was Ravenclaw threw a sticky bomb over Richard. It's like, it really was kind of rubbish, but you know, they don't really go that far, so you can't really use that.
R8 cleaning up, though, at least in the money section. They didn't do too well in the game, but that is a team that we talked about being one of the lowest, on the lowest end, if not the lowest end on earnings so far.
Yeah, I mean, you've still got like a few games to go today and also the entirety of tomorrow, right? So you need to do a little bit of a change of pace if you want to get some money. I think a lot of teams, they're not aiming for that first spot, right? They're aiming for the money increase and get as much as they can. So I think they need to make changes to and bring changes to the table here.
Yes.
Yes. 40 seconds left to go here, but before we can hop back to our commentators and drop into Sandhawk, once again, have to give a shout out to the Savvy Gaming Group for making this event possible. And for you guys at home, to remind you guys about the Vibe and Drive event currently happening, just make sure you guys log in and complete the missions with your friends and get yourself a free permanent legendary set. I know Maxman is looking to accomplish that. I think all of us are looking to accomplish that while we're at the event, playing some Pogi Mogi after the show is done. But John, Allen, and Blank, we got Sandhawk coming up next. Take it away.
Pogi Mogi time. Let's go.
That's right. Anyway, I promised you guys at home some basketball facts.
You did.
And we are now in the next match, so it's time for some basketball facts. Now, the basketball fact of the day is that the reason you have a net is because when you throw the ball in, the basketball in this case, it spins around the top and then comes back out again. Depending on how far it gets into that and comes back out, that's still a point. It doesn't have to pass through the net to make a point, and that's why the net is there. So you can see when the ball makes it all the way in and then potentially bounces back out, which is why you have those long little segments where people are trying to figure out how far did the basketball go through the hoop.
And now we know.
And now you know. Absolutely.
And knowing is half the battle.
Exactly.
The rest of the battle is actually doing it, though, and that's certainly what these teams
That's
are going to be trying to battle their way through if they can get past those incredible basketball facts. I say facts in a plural sense. There was only a singular fact.
There's another fact here.
Okay, we'll save that for in a minute.
All right.
Okay, it's been a minute. What's the fact?
There you go. Second fact is that the net's also there for when the cameraman is on the side of the sideline. This is a little sub-fact. But, you know, you can, with the way that the hoop is set up, you know, toss the basketball up for a cheeky three-pointer and it go to the left of the hoop and still look like it's gone in. So you have the net there also to ensure that everyone on the court knows exactly what's happened. And already we're getting some absolute carnage on the court here in Paradise Resort.
There it goes. S2G, 5K in the bank. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Not only that, first elim will have been going over to them as well. 7K for that fight alone.
All right, then, S2G not happy about how the previous game went there and just immediately wanted to take the fight to R8 Esports, and they've absolutely done such a thing. And Silas gets that nice little team elimination right there at the end.
Very cool. And Solo Loot in Paradise. What could be better? What could be better? Let's talk about the circle for a second. This is a pretty hard shift for a Sandhawk.
It's fairly extreme, you know. Some might even say extreme if you were Maxman on the desk.
I'll tell you what is extreme.
Okay.
Is the fact that if you watch PMWI together in-game with your friends, you can win PMWI special sets. That's pretty wild. That's pretty extreme.
I will say that your segue was less extreme than what I was expecting.
I'll give you extreme in a minute.
Right. Well, you can have extreme in a minute, but only after you've picked yourself up a PMWI gun skin and outfit. Those PMWI packages are on sale for a limited time, just as limited as how fast this fight went for S2G. And you can win those PMWI treasure chests if you play PUBG Mobile during the PMWI.
Very good, very good. Python occupied by Deadeye's guys, potentially, well, they will have to leave it fairly soon. Alpha 7. Occupants in Camp Bravo on the northeastern side. No one really challenging them very, very locally, but you've got Team Rad up a little bit further north. And that's really the only team that's sort of in their proximity. Central, Boot Camp, Stalwart.
Do you know what I'm really liking about these lobbies at the moment? It's just the splits that's coming through on Sandhawk, purely because we only have 12 teams. A lot of these players are much more comfortable to take extreme splits at the beginning of the game, so they can get as much loot as possible. You can even see Vampire Esports. You can't right now, but when the map feed does come back up again for you, but I will tell you because I am nice in that way. You got Vampire Esports holding 2 towards Camp Alpha and also towards the Confluence, and then 2 down towards Tambang and Ruins, which gives them really, really good control over 2 of the major areas on the map, that Southwest and also Northwest Islands. So really good stuff for Vampire Esports. They can kind of determine where they want to go as the game progresses. Right now, I would probably assume the Vampire Esports Stoned as well as Fluketh are going to be moving up from Ruins and Tambang to regroup with Schweppes and Ravenclaw.
That would seem to be the optimal position, and I feel like this is exactly the situation that this position shines in, right? And that's exactly what they're going to be able to operate on. Huge stuff coming through from Vampire Esports. We've praised a lot in general, even during the main tournament last week. Their seeming game sense in terms of these rotations, in terms of these positions, and knowing when and where to be, seems like they are carrying that over quite well into the Afterparty showdown. Certainly will in this game.
Yeah, the macro is turning out to be very important for a lot of these teams, and Vampire Esports have certainly been able to cash in a chunk of money just with the macro that they've been displaying, getting those chicken dinners, that 10K. It's a lot of money for a chicken dinner. So, you know, a lot of these teams are searching out for it because you can get special eliminations, you can get the team eliminations and those very first elimination of the map. But that 10K, that is a consistent. That's always coming your way if you do play the game out very, very strongly. S2G, though, they've got a bit of momentum here. You know, they've puffed out their chest. They're feeling good after that squad wipe. You know, you're feeling maybe a little bit down after the last match. And even if you get that full squad wipe coming into Sandhawk, you know, it's not the best. You know, you feel good about yourself. But getting it a revenge versus R8, ooh, that's got to feel good.
Certainly does. I'm looking right now at another way that one could feel good in this lobby. The airdrop over on the northern side, close to down 1 Kia, under the purview a little bit of 7C. But if S2G swing around, they might even be able to get the first airdrop. You can see it on the top side of your screen. Sung, though, has got that info, baiting out the 1K bounty for it, potentially.
I think that right now we're starting to see more and more DBSs through the lobby. And it might be a DBS showdown for the loot crate itself. And all props to Fabian for really popularizing this method in the PMWI. He had some sick matches over towards Miramar with that weapon. And, you know, we're all happy to see it. Kalaris is super happy to see it.
Do you know what DBS stands for?
No.
Da Big Shotgun.
Da Big Shotgun.
That's right.
Of course it does, yes. Is that in your head or, you know, canonically?
I choose to not answer that question.
That's okay. You know, no comment is a comment in of itself. Damwon Gaming, Damwon Kia, just down this side, holding strong. Really just baiting. Everyone's baiting out the airdrop. I mean, $1,000 is nice, but you know, if you can get the most team eliminations, you know, that's a big chunk of money there. So you really want it to be very, very safe before anyone heads out to even touch this airdrop. You can see teams surrounding it.
Over on the northwestern island here, Vampire did get spotted out. I don't know if that was by 7C or even Stalwart or Deadeye's guys on the south side, but Ravenclaw did get knocked. I imagine it's in this engagement because you can see another knock coming through from Vampire Esports down the hill towards the Deadeye's guys as point break will be Fluketh on the south side of the formation for Vampire Esports.
Ooh, that is a nasty one, but it will play out nicely for Vampire Esports should they be able to get this player back up in an action. It looks like Deadeye guys have taken
that.
A little bit of damage for themselves.
Sliver of HP left on, I believe that's Chari who's getting red there. Spotted out on the hillside. Fluketh still raining down pain on Deadeye's guys who are right with their backs to the blue on this next zone. They will have to move. And Vampire Esports, they're just going to have complete control over this terrain.
I think Fluketh, we talked a lot about Stone and how he's almost like star player for the team, but I think Fluketh and in fact, the whole team is very, very good. But I think Fluketh, as a fragger, is kind of, you know, we don't talk about him too much. But even in that first day of PMWI, on a angle where they got a ridiculous elimination score, I believe it was 24 total, Fluketh was one of the main contributors to that. And I think he has really supported Stone very well in that regard. It's fantastic to see. You know, they really do have all their own little roles on the team, and you can see them being played out as well. There's some very, very consistent gameplay coming through from Vampire Esports, and they know the drill.
I mean, those off angles from Ravenclaw, just time and time again, coming in so clutch in those fights. It's a very well-coordinated team. As you say, their macro, their rotations, their positioning, some of the best in the world.
That loot crate is still just poison, by the way. No one wants to head towards it. I think we need some kind of taste tester from the lobby to head on over. Oh, and another one drops in the location as well. So there's potential here for one team to quickly pick themselves up. The first airdrop and most airdrops in the lobby, but Damwon Kia. Oh, dear.
That's bad for business. 7C, though. Love and life right now. Fabian about to get flushed. Aladdin actually pops on out. Shooting the railings, not going to do too much, though. Back into the pickup. Hit the deck again. Control the bridge.
I like this spot from Aladdin. He is slightly lonely out here, though. But realistically, he just needs support from Scout, Sarang, and Madman off in the distance. He just provides info, hits a few shots, and is very safe inside that pickup. Difficult to get to him in there unless someone takes high ground on him. Alpha 7 going at it again versus BTR here. BTR down towards the south, just the west side of Paradise Resort, and Alpha 7 making their wrap over this side. Nigma Galaxy as well as Falcons also starting to approach the circle. It's Nigma Galaxy who have made the big run through the Western Island. They're right behind Deadeye's guys now.
Certainly are. Vampire Esports did move up a lot further north, so that traffic jam has shuffled along. But it is, you're right, the Hamodi has now leapfrogged the position from Deadeye's guys. They're on the compounds in the northwest. No one really in those exact compounds to challenge them. Can Vampire Esports get the bead on them, get something done? Those loot crates, by the way, those airdrops have still yet to be touched.
Like I said, man, they do have spikes on them. You got to be careful because getting too close to an airdrop can spell the demise of your team. Nigma Galaxy, though, I think they really do have to be careful on this approach. They've all taken up compounds on that northwestern edge, as you can see. And I think this is where they start to scout out, figure out where all these players are rotating into. But this circle doesn't really have a definitive area on either side of the island. That bridge is still in there. Vampire Esports fairly happy with the current spot that they're holding.
I feel like it is looking more like a Northwest Island finish, right? I mean, you have only got a fairly tiny chunk of that mainland, but we've seen crazier things happen, right? Certainly plenty of hard shifts going on today. So on a hard eastern shift, there is still potential. But those crossings that were made early, good news. Things like Stalwart moving across from boot camp, it feels like they've made the right decision.
100%. 7C, though, still being our fishermen's in the lobby. Throwing the long line with the airdrop being the bait here.
Like those team intros.
Yeah. A lot of these teams are very, very smart with it, I suppose, the best way to play. It's a tricky fish to catch. A lot of these teams being intelligent in this game. S2G, though, they have moved out with the boat, and it looks like Madman was able to hit a very, very dirty spray. Silas, though, tries to take the shots, and Madman is having none of it.
I mean, the boat's up in flames. It's swimming for pretty much everyone in the water. Two of them are knocked out there, Raze and Hamzy. As that Raze knock did just come through. Are they looking to try and get these reses?
It's going to be difficult, but they got one. And Silas just trying to provide support, but I don't think he realizes that from that angle, Madman can just peek on the left side, and he's just never going to hit that shot through the window. Just trying to suppress, but the suppressing fire is just not good enough because it's never going to be a problem for Madman if Silas remains there.
Were they trying to go for the loot crate? I think they might have been. But it feels like S2G really have kind of shot themselves on the foot. Maybe they were just trying to look to cross more accurately.
There's another loot crate up here as well. It's all happened in the same location. It's out in the water, so, you know, it's very, very dangerous for any of these teams to even attempt it. So I think right now it's the chicken dinner that's on the cards. Maybe towards the end you have a little bit of a leisurely swim when there's less players in the lobby. Falcons, though, they've come in very late to the circle, and Enigma Galaxy, they've already taken up position.
Oh, straight on past, down the hill. Hard cover from terrain, but the push comes through. Enigma Galaxy move forwards. Auto Shotty not going to be strong enough. Lord able to get the side swipe. Powerful. Back behind the rock. Needs to cower behind it. Not really too much to do here other than try and just hold out. Hold on for dear life. The flank comes through. There's an off angle from Enigma Galaxy. The pan to add insult to injury as Ralph swings in for the back angle.
Goodness me. Has he been fried? Is he easy over? Who knows in this situation, but he's certainly out of the game. Never Alone tosses the nades over the top. Try to find some damage. It's really good onto Hermodi, though. One more might do the trick. There's another player heading towards that location. This could be very bad.
Oh, good damage. Hermodi managed to get the heal off there. Never Alone spots it, handles business on the swivel. Ralph now on the back angle. Could have been pivotal there, but didn't slow down the push from Never Alone. Looking to turn this one around. Team Falcons with 3. Nade in hand for Powerful at the back, but one's popped over the top. It will suppress the angle and has the backup for the rest of his team. Up the top of the hill, there's Freak, and Deadeye's guys are starting to chime into the fight as well. Never Alone finally taken care of. Deadeye's guys handle the back lines, and it is all falling apart for Enigma Galaxy.
They've been ripped to pieces in a fight that they thought would be easy, and now it's all down to Ralph here. Does confirm one, and Lord and Hermodi making the long crawl across. It's Deadeye guys who have their sights focused over towards Vampire Esports, so you know, potentially there's a chance here that Enigma Galaxy gets at least 3 players back up on their feet, but maybe not with Shifu, who is actually moving around the side of the coast here.
I believe S2G might have managed to pick up one of those crates out in the water in the meantime, but you have to think that Deadeye's guys have made this choice consciously. They were ahead of both Enigma Galaxy and Team Falcons in the queue on that western side. They have chosen to stay behind. They have chosen to be at the back of the queue.
Damar, that's a nice long-range shot onto them, and even so, Deadeye's guys were able to make a nasty little bit of damage over to all these teams. It's not been good, and Deadeye's guys have really thrown all of these teams into the cauldron. It's starting to boil now here on Sandhawk.
Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble. Not easy in the cauldron on the northern shore. Alpha 7 making their way to land, and will be able to do so. Rad trying to challenge position potentially. Carrillo trying to shimmy up the cliff and get the UMP out. Close range spray. Asada moves out of the line of fire, but unfortunately, barrel-based fish for the players at the back.
It's easy pickings for Alpha 7, but they are right on the edge at the moment, so they'll have to start to pick their moment to head further in. And surprisingly, Sung and Forest are still going, despite the absolute awful experience they had with 7C. They were able to put an end to their 4-man team there, dropping them down low to just 2. Rex off in the distance, not able to support the rest of his team. Alpha 7 crawled from the waters. What?
Okay. There you go. Alpha 7 managed to get the elimination across the way. In the meantime, I believe S2G have managed to get another crate on Kelsey, the last player standing. 5 eliminations for the team after getting that first squad wipe over in Paradise Resort. They have got a healthy tally and a healthy earning from this game already.
We might not get the chicken dinner, but we will get those match rewards. And honestly, with the amount of money that's been pumped into every single one of these matches, you know, you take that cash where you can. And I fully respect S2G for playing the game they did here. Shifu.
Ooh, close auto shotty in hand. Powerful has the UMP, but neither of them going to shoot off rounds aimed at either. Lord is traded off. Deadeye's guys, though, managed to find Nigma Galaxy as Ralph falls as well. Proving to be a little bit tricksy. Aladdin close to Zuxi. Oh, he knows. He knows. Oh, he knows. And he is going to shut it down. Liquid. Genfos at the back. Still crawling in. Should try and get a little bit closer here, but the blue zone will tick away. Aladdin repositions as 7C hold out the east side of Hut 10.
That could have been very bad there. Alpha 7 able to shut down Damwon Kia. Just came out of the water very, very speedily. Falcons, though, still in this, despite having a rough start towards the end of this game. They're going to have to maybe bring this one back.
Circle finally sent us landward, as we will be spared the swimming antics that S2G have been operating under so far. Deadeye's guys, Molotov onto Powerful, eliminates Team Falcons. On that northwestern side there, you can see just picking up the pieces for Deadeye's guys, bring themselves back up to their 3 total players that they have remaining after the res.
Liquid swings past, bops his teammate on the head, you know. Get back in the game. We've got to win this one. Keep your wits about you. Alpha 7, though, swam across. 4 players still alive, John. They have done some absolute magic in terms of survival. Scout, though, 5 eliminations so far for 7C. I think Scout has an idea of where these players are, and Alpha 7 now have to make a long trudge over towards 7C's compound. Great smoke walls. This has been a classic move coming through from Alpha 7 throughout both days of the Afterparty showdown.
For the position that Vampire Esports have held, the fact that they have no elims surprises me. I feel like they've been close to conflict for the last 10 minutes or so, but it seems like they just haven't opted to go in for these direct fights. They've been playing quite passively, and now the circle moves towards them on the south side shift.
Well, you remember the northwest side, all the teams who have fought over there have lost 1 or 2 players or are completely out of the game entirely. And they've decided to wait and bide their time, swing down towards the south side after this circle centers up just a little bit. And this is going to work out really well for Vampire Esports.
Nade over towards Alpha 7. Mafioso taken down. Kelsey for S2G manages to get to land. I mean, this is what loot crates can do for you, right? That's what the airdrops are there for. Get that ghillie in, and especially on Sanok, could prove to be absolutely crucial. Mythic moves forwards to Mafioso's position. Scout suppressed on the roofline. And they will have to reposition, push further into Hut 10.
Kelsey spotted by Carrillo. They do not let any gunshots go unanswered. Very much on the swivel now. Kelsey's in an awkward scenario. 21 players left here. 7C still with 4. Unfortunately, Biggitron did take a knock there. But now Vampire Esports starting to spread their arms here in the circle, spread their influence.
The darkness swells, hopefully, for Vampire Esports in Hut 10. Nades still pouring in towards Alpha 7, but 7C, they're moving into the back of the push for Biggitron. Now crunched between Vampire Esports and 7C. Aladdin falls back as there's answers from the barrels of Biggitron. Spray? Maybe? No. Turned around. Shut down. Mythic keeps them alive. Alpha 7 eliminate S2G.
Goodness me, Mythic has been unbelievable with these spray transfers because you know he's waiting for the money transfers back to his bank account, so he has to make them good. There's no way that anyone's getting behind this team with this player with Alpha 7. Stalwart, though, do take down Revo, and they're in a rough scenario at this moment. They're not quite in the zone yet, and it has been absolutely unbelievable that they've been able to get this far in the first place.
Liquid 1 versus 4 on the push against 7C. Repositions, new side of the warehouse. Do 7C know that he's made this position, made this push? Looks like they're still nading on the left stanchion, but in comes Scout. Looks to be the front man. Pushes into the position that they think he's in. He turns around the side. Liquid needs to get a knock or two as it is getting suppressed from the sideline. 7C losing players on the off angle, and Liquid repositions yet again. Aladdin wants to go for the push, but Sarang around the side. Excellently executed, but Madman's down. Can 7C pick up the pieces?
Should be able to get this player back up and moving, considering they're still in the zone. Stalwart, Pika takes down Joker. And Stalwart have been very quiet during this map, but still have 3 players. But it's Scry who goes down. And Alpha 7, how have they got in once again? They just escape death from time to time, but now just Mafioso left alive.
They are the survivors here. 8 eliminations, tying up with 7C on 8 as well. But you're right, it is only Mafioso with so much to do and a long way to run. 7C looking their way. Stalwart as well, putting that lead right down range. And Mafioso trying his best not to eat it for lunch.
Vampires, they know where the shade is from the blue, and you'd expect it to be so. As it moves down towards their position, Stalwart's still ahead of them. They've not had to do too much at all, and they're starting to get some eliminations, 2 so far, but it's that 10K that they're looking for this game.
If Alpha 7 can take down 7C, or, well, I'll stop that sentence right there, because that is going to even up the elimination points. If 7C go down right now, could potentially be a little bit tricky on the tiebreaker for most eliminations, but Stalwart, they're suffering. In comes Vampire, pushing on through. They want the 10K chicken dinner. They want that money. And who can blame them? Champions of the PMWI here at the Afterparty Showdown. And spraying around the corner, Scout can't quite win out the fight against Pika. Pika's just a little bit too on the ball, but Sarang has the bead, has the angle. Scout, potential to get res, but Ravenclaw might have something to say about it.
This is so rough here. It's very, very lucky they were able to get that knock onto Schweppes and delay the fight, but Scout gets taken down. Now just Sarang and Aladdin, but Fluka with the DBS in hand.
What are you going to do against Dubbig Shotgun? Pushes on in, no Sarang out of the building. Aladdin down, 1 player left. They know exactly where he is. 7C to fall under the gaze of Vampire Esports, taking the chicken dinner on Sandhawk.
Vampire Esports, they may have been slow in the beginning like a turtle, but towards the end with the DBS, they were showing the shells to 7C. They're out of it, and Vampire Esports will take home the chicken dinner and the 10K for that one. Beautiful stuff overall. You love to see it. They were just seeing the future, man.
Absolutely, and Alpha 7 staying in super late, consolidating their point lead. I mean, it feels like this team, at the moment, nigh on uncatchable on the points totals.
Honestly, I am incredibly surprised how heated it's getting here in the Afterparty Showdown. Every single team is looking to earn money wherever they can at the moment. S2G as well, you gotta love it from Galsey. He was like, right, no one's picked up on these loot crates. I'm going to grab them myself and get a little money on the side. But Vampire Esports, 7C, India and Thailand going out towards the end. It's a beautiful way to finish that match.
What a game on Sandhawk, but we've got a little bit more for you, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back after the break.
Progress is a race that has no end. After every finish line, another challenge awaits. How can we continue to push innovation in a sport at the forefront of technology? This is how. Discover how Aramco and the Aston Martin Formula One team aim to meet Formula One's sustainable fuel targets. Aramco, powered by How.
Vampire Esports, another big win coming out of them today. That's 2 for them, and that's 2 for Team Falcons and 1 for Alpha 7. We could have another day here, a back-to-back day of 3 teams getting themselves 2 wins apiece. Let's take a look at our match rankings brought to you by STC so we can see all the points collected by them and, of course, the other teams out there who did participate. And speaking about participating, 7C Esports getting 16 points as well, tying things up.
It was always scary for them at some point. Like, you were talking about one compound in particular north of Hatton they had to take to try and stop Alpha 7 from getting involved.
Oh,
but
yes.
They just full sent in the middle and try to get a really good spot.
Sorry, I was still embodying the soul of John Allen there for a moment. Yeah, you're right.
You're
I mean,
spot. Yeah.
thank you. It's ultimately, yeah, there were moments where 7C could have really kind of held out positions, but yeah, it's crazy in those urban warfare moments where you're trying to move from wall to wall, trying to go from compound to compound, and then with all of that. But Vampires played it excellently to deal with 7C at the end.
That compound movement was indeed brought to you by 7C.
John
Sorry. Sorry, continue.
But you were talking about, actually, while we were watching that 7C, maybe making some missteps there, actually, with how they were dealing with Alpha 7, because Scout was on top of the roof before they transitioned in towards a different building, so he was keeping them zoned out, but then when they transitioned, they didn't go directly to the location that you were looking for, Kalaris.
I suppose. I mean, ultimately, the blue was pushing them. It's difficult to stay where they were, and then they could have potentially been vulnerable had it been kind of a roof-to-roof situation. So not exactly the easiest situation to be in whatsoever.
Yeah, and I do believe also that there's a situation where Alpha 7 do actually win that, right? I think that 7C got a little bit lucky, quote-unquote, because there was Kelsey from S2G that was like took down 2 players from that location. If they go in there as a 4-man, I think there's a clear chance they win that game.
And a cool moment is because Kelsey is trying to salvage some money in this game because SGG gone down so
crates,
early.
Yeah.
He's swimming around, getting crates. He comes up on the shoreline, has a ghillie as well as an MG3 during all of that. So, yeah, it was difficult for them to spot him, and then he becomes this proper spoiler for them to try and move up forward.
I wonder what happened if he
अरे 7C ना लिविक में अभी इतना अच्छा खेली ऐसे हर एक मैच में खेले ना मजा आ जाए
तेरा जाट हेलो हेलो तेरा जाट हेलो 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 ये नंबर हेलो 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 पंजाबी हैं
Good luck, mates.
Hello.
I need a weapon.
सामने बंदे
Watch out! Please recall me.
नंबर ब्रो वहां से भाग जा 4 नंबर लूट करके रिकॉल करना ब्रो चार नंबर मेरे मार्क पे रिकॉल कर
Awesome. Don't
ਐਵੇਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਯਾਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਬੰਦੇ ਆਏ ਨਾ
Your
ਗੇਮ ਖੜ
teammates can
ਜਾਂਦੀ
still recall Please you. recall me.
ਬਹੁਤ ਮਾੜਾ ਕੰਮ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਯਾਰ ਗੇਮ ਖੜ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਜਦੋਂ
रुक जा मैं रिकॉल कर रहा हूँ
करोगे ब्रो 4 नंबर रिकॉल
हाँ मैं 1 नंबर
1 नंबर तुम चले जाओ यहाँ पे
This is a simulation game set in a virtual world and does not represent real life. Please play in moderation.
Good
Take
luck,
frequent
mates.
breaks and play responsibly.
Good luck, mates.
This is a simulation game set in a virtual
M416 मिले तो
world
बताना।
and does not represent real life. Please play in moderation. Take frequent breaks and play responsibly.
It is showtime. Good luck, mates. Don't give up. Your teammates can still recall you. Please recall me. Got it. Please recall me. No. Marked a location. Marked a location. I need a grip. I need a muzzle.